Hello everyone and welcome to live and free coverage of the first ever day-night test between Australia and India. This is day one of the test match. We'll have guests today and it's fantastic. So what is happening in this match is India are going to have to make the most of having Kohli in their side, and also let's just have a quick look at the Indian 11 here they have chosen. They have chosen Prithvi Shaw and Mayank Agarwal at the top of the order. I believe that is a very, very good choice. India Pujara and Kohli at 3 and Kohli at 4. Both Australia and India will have solid number 3s and 4s, as Labuschagne and Smith at number 3 and 4 for Australia. Ajinkya Rahane at number 5 as vice-captain. Hanuma Vihari at 6. Riddhiman Saha as the wicket-keeper, replacing Rishabh Pant. Now, he does average less with the bat, but that didn't faze India too much. With the bowling attack, they've gone for one spinner alongside all-rounder Vihari. They've gone Ravi Ashwin, Umesh Yadav, Mohammad Shami, Nathan Lyon and Hanuma Vihari. So they've gone for 3 pacers and one spinner and one all-rounder that does spin bowl. So it's a pretty good side from India in my opinion. It's going to be interesting how they're going to go in the series. My prediction is this test match, probably India will win. But the toss obviously plays a massive, massive factor. Now, the other question is also about this game. India will look, whenever they're bowling, will look to obviously attack the first 2 batsmen for Australia and get them out quickly, because our openers aren't the strongest. Once they're out, it's basically game on. Get Smith and Labuschagne out early, get out to the crease early, and then hopefully they'll get out. That'll be probably what India are hoping for. Right, let's get straight into it now. There's a lot of questions, and we're going to introduce our guests right now. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to live and free coverage of Australia v India. India have won the toss and elected to bat first, which is a pretty normal decision. The pitch about 8mm of grass, I heard somewhere. Just trying to adjust this tele-aerial. Sorry about that. So a massive test match coming up as we hear, and obviously live and free coverage. Share your thoughts in the live chat on what you think about this game. Big things coming up in this rivalry. Australia v India. A lot of predictions, a lot of banter, a lot of what's going to happen today. But in the end, I reckon a big game of cricket. So there's a lot of key questions. India batting. We know that probably the number 3 and number 4 are the best. So how is Australia going to bowl to them? Which is going to be an interesting tactic. Now, just trying to get the footage right. Hang on. Sorry. Got some really cheap aerials and stuff. Share your thoughts in the live chat. What we're going to do now is we're just going to go to a quick ad break, and after that we'll talk stuff. The best cricket and Premier League content is Sports Express, the home of great vlogs which show matches going on in England right now, which definitely some of you can't travel around the world to see. Also fantastic podcasts, cricket updates you don't want to miss. Sports Express is the home of all that. RCTV Cricket is brought to you by our broadcast from Marty's run from Kalgoorlie to Perth for 600 kilometres. It was hot weather, it was back in September, and it was incredible. Cricket Talks, where we wrap up matches of cricket to entertain on this channel. Listen for all the insight and analysis, special analysis from my channel. Galactic Icewave, fun, gaming and animation channel for you to check out. One channel that you should check out is Analog Casual, the more casual version of this channel, where we can sort of make cool posts and stuff. You know, a bit of a channel for the fans. So if you're a big fan of this channel, come over to Analog Casual, and we're going to make stuff all for you guys. So come to that channel, it's great. And don't forget to subscribe. It only has 7 subscribers. We're going to build on that second channel. Only videos I really enjoy making, including snippets out of this live broadcast. One of the most important things in cricket is the shot play. And as you watch me back here, you noticed what are the good shots, what are the bad shots. And often in the longer format, you can actually take one shot out of play. Some people struggle with the cover drive because they're bowling at nice length and they're edging it off that way. So instead, they hit it lots of on drives and through mid-wicket, like that. Now, some people struggle with those on drives and just chip it and get caught in the crease. They have time to work on it, they can just work across it and pull it away. Then obviously the most traditional test match shot, the forward defence. That is a very important shot to play. Now, if there's also the back foot defence, the bowlers are bowling really nice length to you. You can just leave it alone in a test match. T20, you can't leave everything alone. It's often a bit of a swing, like we saw in the T20 series. Test cricket, leave it alone. Oh, it's swinging, block it. Because the ball tracking can often pick up a line and sort of watch how this bowler swings it that you're facing. Then you notice, hang on a minute, he's bowling it really full, he's pitching it up. What am I supposed to do? Well, it's the fullest delivery of the over. You might be able to flash a drive if it's nice and full, but it can't be swinging too much, it can't be overly tempting, because the bowlers are really smart with tempting the batsman. Now watch me here, so I'm in the position, I get a nice high bat swing, I have plenty of time to face this delivery, it goes to me, pretend there's a ball coming, bang. That will be off the back foot, that'll be my honest trigger reaction. The front foot, like that, right into it. Now I'll watch the ball like a hawk. Watching it, it's coming to me. Extra cover drive, straight drive, off drive, on drive. It really frustrates the bowler. That is one of the most important shots. So, thank you for watching our analysis segment. So, Australia versus India, a massive test match. The Australians are just about to take the field. I don't know what's up with this camera. I'm just going to turn it off because it's hopeless. In the live chat, Liam's Cricket and AFL says, come on Aussies, yes definitely, go Australia in this massive test match. Don't know why this camera's not working. Try it again. Nope. Siddhartha Batari says, hey mate, hello Siddhartha. It's good to have you in the stream. Think it's going to be interesting because all these interaction in live chat, it's absolutely fantastic, and I can't really play the match presentations due to copyright, but all the build-up is happening right now. Everyone says, hey, we're going to look at some statistics, some comments, some everything like that. So, if we look at the Cricket Live app, India did win the toss and choose to bat if you've just joined, and Cameron Green has confirmed as the debutant. Here are the teams in this match. Some massive lineups. it's big because India with Prithvi Shaw, Mayank Agarwal, India Pujara, Virat Kohli, Ajinkya Rahane, of course, who will fill in as captain at some point. There's been plenty of talk about who's going to open, who's going to do this and that, but it seems to be that the team's pretty well confirmed. Okay, so Siddhartha Bhattari says, what do I think of Joe Burns? Well, I think Joe Burns is a fairly good opener. It's just, there's a few things about him that maybe he gets out occasionally and he's had a bit of a slumpish season. I definitely think Will Bukovski's a better choice. It's interesting they bring Wade up the top of the order with him, and the toss has happened, as I said. India have won the toss. So interestingly enough, Marnus Labuschagne and Steve Smith will be the keys for Australia, but we're going to look at Indian lineup. And Prithvi Shaw and Mayank Agarwal, well, they're not the most experienced players. They're great players, but that will probably be Australia's greatest gateway to winning this match. If they can knock those two skillful players out quickly and early, it will certainly mean a lot. And there's a live chat messages and stuff. There's a lot to consider with this match. So we have the top order, right? The three. As we have a guest who's joined, Tyrell. Hello, Tyrell. Welcome to the stream. Just reading through the live chat. Liam's cricket, Nathan, Virat Kohli, and Steve Smith in at 4.
Thank you for having me.
The current plan. You're live. So, just going to talk about the teams that have been lined up today. So, all the banter, all the preparations, all the discussion about which team to pick, it all comes down to statistics, runs scored, all of that. And it's interesting because do the selectors listen to the popularity of the people, or do they listen to perhaps other options? That's another very interesting thing about selections. Tyrell has joined us in commentary, and what do you think, mate?
Well, regarding the Australian side, Ethan, in my opinion, Joe Burns, he doesn't deserve a place in the team. I do not understand why the selectors are sticking with him for, and he's had a horrid Sheffield Shield, I've been told.
Definitely about the Sheffield Shield. Yeah, he was out for like 92 runs off like 6 innings or something. And we're just going to read questions for the live chat. Who's a better wicketkeeper, Wade or Payne? Well, Payne is sort of the leader as he's probably a better wicketkeeper. And we have Tim Payne as the wicketkeeper and the captain, but Matthew Wade's picked as a batsman, interestingly enough. What do you think about that?
Well, I must say, that's a 50-50 call right there. Matthew Wade as a wicketkeeper batsman anytime if Tim Payne fails to get going with the bat, but he's good behind the stumps.
Yeah, interestingly enough, yeah. So I would think that Matthew Wade is a viable replacement for Tim Payne. And also, who do you reckon is Australia's 12th man? Because I'm not sure. Who would they list? Who's listed as 12th man? Do you know?
Well, I've been told that James Pattinson, who recently played in the IPL, he's the 12th man.
Interestingly enough. And Pattinson bowled quite well in the IPL, didn't he? As we get into how different...
With the reigning champs Mumbai itself.
Yes, so the massive match we're about to get started. We're only a few minutes away. Lots of interaction. Who is this on for commentary? It's Ethan, and I'm joined by... Can I call you... I'm going to refer to you by full name because that's what your channel's called. Tyrell Ordain, as well from the West Indies somewhere.
Believe it, mate.
Yes, you're getting better at
From
that
Trinidad
Australian
and
slang. Trinidad and Tobago. Good country, I've heard.
Yes,
Better weather, good weather, nice warm weather all year round.
it's extremely hot there today. It was really hot.
38 degrees, 40 degrees, 42.
Almost there.
What?
Might be around 33, 34.
33, 34. Yeah, okay. It's summertime in Australia. Today's about,
But I hear we're supposed to have cool conditions
yeah, in Adelaide it's only
before
23
Christmas
degrees.
in Trinidad itself.
Yeah, yeah. We
Bit
probably need to
cool
get
over
into,
there.
yep. We probably need to get into the cricket now. The Australians are taking the field for the first, as they say,
And the
Vodafone
openers
Test
too.
match. Indian openers. I'm just,
Yeah, it happens.
so here are the openers. What do you think about these two as openers? I'm going to read through their statistics. What do you reckon about them?
Yes, go right ahead. These Indian openers, pretty sure I love watching them, but since his under 19 days, a lot of people are comparing him to the next Sachin Tendulkar.
That is
Because I
crazy.
remember some show did run an interview on him when he was a schoolboy in Mumbai, India.
Apparently averages 55 with .83 with the bat in Test cricket, according to the statistics I'm reading off. And Mayank Agarwal as well, a good average of 57. These are two rising stars of Indian cricket that could pose
I
as a
love
massive
my
threat in this Test.
Agarwal.
These openers, like, they're young, and I reckon the Australian fans don't know much about them, if that makes sense. Like, they don't realise how good these openers are. You look at Kohli and Pujara, and everyone knows how good they are. But these two as well, like, India are a very strong side. They could win without Kohli. It's a lot of. This is why all the Indians are saying India will win 2-1, and it's a reasonable prediction. As Mitchell Starc takes the attack. Good average of 27. Excellent Test match.
And I must say, India love playing in Adelaide itself.
They have a good track record in Adelaide. As Stark's now running in for the first delivery of the innings. He bowls, and that one's just defended there, and the gully fieldsman's got it. No run. Nice pace there, 145 kilometres per hour. So, Prithvi
He's
Shaw.
really bowling good.
I find Stark quite hit and miss. And the other thing is, when he bowls to Nathan Lyon, he often aims to try and make up the rough for Nathan Lyon and that. And there's not much discussion about that, but there's often people reckon, the people that know about it reckon it's cheating. So that'll be interesting as the series rolls on. Stark bowls. That's a full pitch delivery. He's bowled him. Leg stump. He has knocked the leg stump out of the ground. Nice and full. Almost Yorker length. Prithvi Shaw's been knocked over. Excellent delivery there. Just a bit of in swing. And he's gone second ball. So big surprise for Australia.
That is a huge wicket itself they made. That is a huge, huge blow. And just of the second ball of the match itself. I think he was looking to play it on the offside, but got a big inside edge onto middle and leg stump.
I feel like sometimes we have a lot of commentator curses with these matches. Like, there was a bit of an inside edge there. I wonder if it was planned, that one delivery from Stark, but I mean, it was very good bowling indeed. Like Prithvi Shaw, we were just talking about how good his statistics is. He's very underrated by the Australian fans. This will make a huge difference. But coming next to the crease is the one and only Virat Kohli, and I bet you'll have a lot to say about him as a cricketer, and I bet we all do. So go and share your thoughts in the live chat on what you think about Virat. But all we can know is it's mostly positive, like 95%, maybe 100%. And Ayush Yadav says in the live chat, Stark Well done. Yes, appreciate your interaction there. Yeah, that's definitely true. It was really full though. It was a delivery that was unplayable. They need to learn to appreciate that line and length. That it's not really the batsman's fault. Sorry, it's Shediswar Pujara, pardon me, coming to the crease. Batted very defensively against Australia last series, average of 48, and he'll really like to tuck him up and keep it tight on the stumps. But you know, you got to bowl that wicket taking. You got to bowl aggressively to Pujara. Like he's not going to slog you, unless it's like after 2 days of batting. He could bat for 8 days, Pujara. So they got to be very, very careful. As India one wicket for no run. A couple more subscriptions coming to the channel. Thank you so much. So this is on the second channel, as YouTube won't let me do it on the main. Good to do it on the main channel as well. As Stark's running in for the next delivery. He's in it, and then he sort of just runs through his run-up. It's not quite the perfect run-up executed. A couple of live viewers around for this massive test series. There's all the fans in Adelaide. Had a bit of an outbreak, Adelaide, a couple of weeks ago, but now they're okay. They're all pretty much clear. All cleared of it all. It's got Stark. He's running and he's a bit hit and miss Stark sometimes. But I know it's when he's hit and miss and does badly, Australia can lose when we don't have Nathan Lyon. That's the thing about that criticism. And it kind of makes sense once you read the statistics. He bowls, and that one's just defended there, back down the ground for no run. Pujara firstly, I mean, he defends everything. That's pretty good pace, 146 kilometres per hour.
Well, Ethan, I must say, mate, a lot of people compares Pujara to Rahul Dravid in India, for an example. You know how the Indians love to compare the modern day batsman to the legends itself. As you can see, he's going to be running in now, so you take it away.
Bowls, that one's a bit of an outside edge, maybe. I think he might have dropped it. It's going to be a quick run, so India off the mark. Pujara, yeah, definitely nicked it, and you can't afford to drop those catches, that's for sure. It's a very, very nice full pitch delivery, and sort of getting Pujara to play it down the ground. And it's going to be interesting how India are going to go in a day-night test. Emerald Rose says hello. Hello, Emerald Rose.
Aloha. I must say, Ethan, that ball may have just dropped in front of first slip itself.
It was
I don't know
very,
who
very
was at
close.
first slip.
It was definitely a drop catch in my eyes there. You don't get closer than that. And now Mayank Agarwal will face his first delivery, and they've already lost a wicket. And that's big pressure on an opener when there's one wicket down and then the second opener. And then bang, facing his first ball. Stark in now. That's a nice length delivery outside off stump, which has been left alone by Mayank Agarwal. I think it's going to be quite a defensive next few overs of cricket, that's for sure. Although it's because it's day-night test, they might have the attitude where they want to hit the quick runs in the third session, because it is really hard to bat at night. And we know how good Mitchell Stark is, for example, with the pink ball. He's already delivered a wicket. Something about it. He's really, and that's why Lyon does well with the pink ball generally, because he lives off Stark. They're both New South Wales cricketers, from the same state. And they're both, I think, countryside based. I don't know, but I think Stark running in now, just having TV signal issues. As he bowls.
That's alright, mate.
Oh, it's working alright, sorry, he wasn't bowling there. So, share your thoughts in the live chat. I think that was a dot ball, pardon me, so it's 1 for 1 at the end of the over. And I'm going to show you, this is me bowling in the backyard on the screen on sort of broadcast. We're just going to talk about backyard cricket and stuff. What do you reckon about backyard cricket? Do you like it? Do you play much of it? Tyrell.
Yeah, sure it does, buddy.
The backyard's a pretty good place to play. It's a good game of cricket, as we can see here on the screen. The pressure is on. It's really ways. That's not out deflection, but this was actually this ball that was bowled top of off stump. That's all the backyard highlights. Interesting team selection there. You can see on the screen. Picked a pretty good side, India, they've got some pretty good openers, and Hazelwood average of 26.2 is now in the attack. See how he goes. He runs into bowl. Runs up to the crease. He bowls. Length ball on the stumps. Appeal for LBW. I didn't mean on the stumps by like out, but like, you know what I mean. Around the stumps area. And there's a DRS time and there's 8 seconds left. And tell you what, Hazelwood, first ball, absolute seed by him.
Before the COVID-19 pandemic, the last time I did play cricket was before the pandemic had hit.
I'm guessing it's not the greatest where you live, deciding by what you're saying. Hazelwood running up to the crease now. He bowls a length ball, left alone, outside off stump. That one is really good delivery.
Excuse me.
And the reason why, you shut up asked why am I not streaming on the main channel, the reason I'm not is because of got a strike, for a copyright strike, and which meant that I cannot stream on my main channel. So I'm not. It doesn't even let me. Like I can't. It doesn't work. So it just literally blocked. So I had to stream on this channel, but still, it's good to have a stream running through of this match. Hope you're enjoying it so far. As Hazelwood runs up to the crease, he bowls. It's a length ball outside off stump, left alone again by Pujara. Pujara could probably leave those all alone all days. You need to bowl an attacking format of bowling to Pujara, because his defence and his defensive play is so well structured. So that is one thing. That one, that ball that hit the pads early on this over would have been not out. So don't have to worry about that. There was a slight appeal. Hazelwood running into Pujara again. He's got a nice run up Hazelwood. And he bowls. That's a full pitch delivery. Just pushing down leg slightly. There's no run. So it was a bit slower, that delivery. Down, pace dropped to 136 kilometres per hour. Pitched up. Pujara one run off 6 balls. The only person to score yet today. So, of course, it's interesting how these bowlers are going to bowl to Pujara. It's really going to be a massive decision. Hazelwood running in really fast. Bowls. That ball is defended. Straight to cover for no run.
Is everything okay?
It's all good. So there's Prithvi Shaw knocked over for a duck by Stark. It was a fantastic delivery. Nice and full. Just inside edge. It looks so deliberate almost. It's like when I looked at it, it looked so perfect. I thought he didn't even edge it. I thought it just went straight on the stumps. That's how perfect it looked. Hazelwood bowls, last ball of the over. Nice length delivery, left alone, outside, off stump. So, challenge has been on. Stark poising threats to his Indian opening batsman. And of course, what a game on our hands. So, India are still at 1 for 1 after a couple of overs. Green to debut. It's a lot of statistics in operation. What we're going to look at is analysis of the next... Wait, I'm just going to read through the next 3 batsmen to come out. So they have Virat Kohli, Ajinkya Rahane, and Hanuma Vihari is next in. That's the plan. Stark bowls. That's a full pitch delivery. That's just beaten him outside the off stump. They're excellent. Sort of just pushing across him there. He's bowling from the other angle now. That is a good effort. Just pushing it nice and in. It's interesting the angles that the bowlers try and work with. This is the first session of the most exciting day-night test. So I'll be here with you right the way till the end of the second session. You have a fast bowler like Mitchell Stark. And just loves to Get swing on the pitch. Again, we're having television signal issues. He bowls, and that one's just defended there, or there's no run. TV signal's just crashing out a bit. So, don't forget to share your thoughts in the live chat. It was a very good bouncer by Mitchell Starc, forcing the defensive play, but it really just lobbed up one bounce to the fielder. Mitchell Starc. Agarwal still hasn't scored a run yet. Sometimes it's a good method to just not score anything. Just build out. But I think scoring a first run is very important. The day Starc is in. That's a full delivery. And it's just, I can't see what's happening. The internet's, gosh, that's bad. I can't see what happened there. It's full. And there's a single. Right, so 1 for 2. Yeah. I'm trying to adjust the microphone. I'm having issues with technology. Severe issues. This is going to be a rubbish microphone, but see if this works. Does this work? If it does. It's going to be crackly, chiral, but please just hope you can hear me now. India 1 for 2. And, of course, got Starc running into bowl. He's still 1 for 2. I can't even see the footage. What's wrong with you? Stupid foreign products. Why don't you make something in Australia for a change that actually works? Stupid Japanese or whatever it is. Okay, it's not even working at all. Great. Still 1 for 2 India. I'm just going to do my best to update you. Can't help it with the Wi-Fi and everything else around me. There's interesting. Australia 1 for 2. Am I watching it on Channel 7? Yes, I am watching it on Channel 7. But obviously there's going to be a 3 or 4 second delay, so it may not be right in timing. Yeah, so it's 1 for 2 off 2.5 overs. I just prefer Channel 7 in general. The graphics are a bit nicer. Starc bowls, full delivery, hit straight to cover for no run. So India 1 for 2 after 3 overs. Just trying to sort out technological issues. Just to look at the teams while you're at it. I'm going to have to keep quiet for the next few seconds. These are the teams for you. India 1 for 2. Just having issues with trying to connect the guests right up to the meeting. It's Australian internet, of course, so don't kill me for it. People voted for a government to make it rubbish, so that's what you get. Corruption in the internet. He bowls, that's a full pitch delivery, and he blocks that one to cover for no run. I know about the Google meetings, it's glitching and stuff. I'm trying to adjust it. I can't. Tyrell. I understand your problem. It's just not working at all. Slow, stumpy, horrible. It's like, it makes you want to throw up. That's how bad our internet is. Bowls, that's a full delivery. Hits it straight to cover for no run. Still 1 for 2. change of tactics. I will, because I'm not here any. I've got an idea. So I'm gonna hang on. Tyrell, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something that's very annoying. He bowls. It's a length ball outside off stump. I'm gonna have to, and that does mean I'm gonna have to like. It's not gonna be the nicest view because I'm trying to hook up long wires because I don't have wireless anything.
Oh dear.
Hope I can hear you. If there's any issues, I can't help it. So blame the incumbent. So please don't get mad at me. Right. So we have Hazelwood bowling now. Running in. Hazelwood bowls. That's a nice bouncer. He's ducked. Yes, that's to duck his way out of it. Ayush Yadav says in the live chat, how many people do you want to watch your stream? My answer is as many as I possibly can get. Duh. But like, yeah, on a serious note, just adjusting stuff. Just don't get mad at me.
No need to get mad at you, mate. That was an epic bouncer from Hazelwood.
Yeah. So, he bowls again. That's a full delivery. Excellent square cover drive. Driving through cover point. That shot is class. I don't know how many runs they're going to get there, India. They're going to move the score over to about 1 for about 4 or 5, I suppose.
What a great stop.
Yeah, good fielding by Matthew Wade.
Oh, it's touch and go.
It's how many runs would it be if it's? I think it's make it. That 1 for 4 now.
I think he's just done there.
1 for 5. So Hazelwood first runs against him. First attacking shot. Bowls. Pujara has just been beaten outside off stump. They were fractions. They were millimetres away from that outside edge of the bat. As is there 1 for 5. I'm not sure how many overs have passed yet. I'm just going to continue on.
Cooked about 3-4 overs.
Yeah. So we're back live, and on this test series, right, just looking at it, there's a lot of Indian support, a lot of fans, a lot of people that are really engaging in the game, and it is just fantastic to see a team have that much support. Very bowls. That's a length ball outside off stump, no run.
Excuse me, mate.
Yeah. Hazelwood, interesting where he's been bowling today. He's bowled one delivery short of a length, but then he's bowled a few in the length and full. Start keeping line and length consistent. Really been lungingly full. That one delivery from Hazelwood was probably a bit too full. But as you said, he has beaten batsmen. Stark in again. That's a good delivery, and they will grab off the pads a single. He really hones in at the pad, Stark. Hazelwood's first over sort of been interesting. They've had 3 balls in that line and length outside off stump box, which has been really challenging. But I think what happened was he bowled that one, the full and wide one, the most full and wide one. That was really, really bad out of Hazelwood's spell, and that was where the runs got loosed away. India roaming around at 1 for 6. Pujara and Agarwal. It's a dot, then a 1 this over. Stark runs in and bowls. That's a ball on the stumps, and that's been defended for no run. So 4 more balls left to this over. Pretty sure, of course. So let's talk about Pujara as we're seeing on the screen. Against Oz seamers, left alone, anything outside off stump he tends to leave alone, which is a sign that he's a player that he does really well. And then on the stumps, generally, like on leg stump and stuff, he hits runs. But if you get it around the off stump or the fourth stump, as they call it, the fourth stump technicalities, you can get him out. Bowls, that's way too down leg, and that's been hit to deep fine leg for a single. So India 1 for 7 in the first innings. Roaming around. Roam if you want to, roam around the world, as this classic song says.
I think the Indians better watch out in the first hour.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing you're saying, because India, of course, have, well, not India in general, but just in general about the game. This is the first session. This is supposed to be where the runs are scored. Bowls, that's shortish length, that's defended straight to fielder. In this format, right, of day-night cricket, generally the aim of the game is to beat the other team and do well in the afternoon session, which is the first session, and the evening it's really challenging to bat. So it's sort of a flipped around test match, which is the interesting about day night. It actually balances the game out and makes it more interesting, in my opinion, the way the day night tests are structured. And that's probably a very important thing to learn about. Now, bowls, that's a length ball outside off stump. No run at the end of the 5th over. India 1 for 7. One channel for you to check out is the Cool Boys Superhuman. As a featured channel of him, I really enjoy it. And obviously some of the amazing stuff he's done. If you've watched Super Series Minecraft on my channel and haven't checked out the Cool Boys Superhumans version, you better do, because you will really like it. As well as some amazing memes, like some of the stuff is just going to amaze you. And yes, check out his channel. And so we have Hazelwood now in the attack. India 1 for 7. And we have Pujara 2 of 14 been dotted up as Hazelwood bowls. That's a length ball outside off stump, left alone. And, well, Pujara being 2 runs off 15 balls is certainly quite a challenge. And just because you dot up Pujara doesn't mean he's doing super well. That's the other interesting thing about it all. I mean, Stark finish off that over. It's a lot of things to think about. Bowls, and that one's hit back down the ground for no run. So, if you ask me, we're in 5.1 overs. And I'm looking on the TV screen, Kohli and Pujara. I mean, it's just like the King's Wall. They work around each other, as you can notice on the telly screen. Just by the way Pujara hits it, he just gets right in front of the delivery and defends it quite neatly. It's a player that just, you could watch, like, you could have him there for 80 balls and not score a single run. Bowls, that's a full delivery on the off stump where he should be bowling, and it's hit to cover. And even that possible dismissal has now basically just been stopped in its tracks, which is very, very interesting. Pujara, 2 runs off 17 deliveries currently. Interesting against Test Series and Oz. 4 matches, 521 runs against Australia. Average of 74. 300s. It's like those type of statistics you name say a lot about the character he is. He does have to defend out his innings. It's like Jeffrey Boycott, for example. Bowls. That's a good bouncer. It's short of a length, it's going over the body there, and he had to duck Pujara. He really had to get out of the way of it to be able to play it in the best way possible. 2 runs of 18 deliveries. I mean, for most batsmen, they take it as pressure. For Pujara, it says His attitude is, I am actually surviving this and doing well. And it really got very close to his shoulder, that delivery. In fact, that was another delivery that hit him. But now in the stage where there's 2 balls left of the over, do you reset and hit a single and give the last ball to Mayank Agarwal, or do you just keep on going? And most players just say, oh, I'm going to hit a single, but, I can't. So basically what you need to do to Pujara, as you can see now on the screen, is awkwardly set up the batsman so that there's fielders around the bat. If you're watching the footage, you can kind of tell what is going on, I think. He bowls.
And it's a leg on the end.
That one's defended there for no run. What are you going to say about that?
Well, as long as Pujara keeps on defending, he might just have the game in safety at the moment. Because whenever it gets dark or going into nighttime and the Aussie bowlers start to fire it in the block hole. And the last night test I saw with the Indians, we'll talk about that in a sec.
Yep. He bowls. That's a nice length delivery right in the off stump there. Perfect area to Pujara. Defended to mid-on for no run. Continue.
The last time India played at the night test was in Eden Gardens and they completely mashed up the Tigers.
It was quite embarrassing for them. Yeah, it was a good effort from them, I remember. It was some sort of cricket you would want to see from India. Indian fans. At the end of the over, India 1 for 7 off 6 overs. It's been a defensive start, but Pujara, you can imagine if he's like this now, I reckon he'd be the right batsman attitude to survive that night session. He'd be the right attitude if he came in, you wouldn't need a night watchman because he's got that perfect way to hold off that night session. It'd actually do better than having a night watchman. Unlike most batsmen.
What about Rahane?
Great player. I mean, it's going to be interesting how he goes as captain. Bowls, that one's just tapped a square leg. I think it got very close to catching it there. No run. Yeah, Rahane, guess it'd be different as having him as a captain because he will lead the team in a different way than most people. He's a lot more play cricket rather than energy. I'm more energy based. He's more cricket based. So it's going to be very, very interesting how he structures the way he plays, and I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. So, I mean, Rahane bats in the right spot, like number 5. It's very appropriate to have him there, in my opinion. Just seeing there for Agarwal, they're having a short leg in play. Stark bowls. That's a nice length ball outside off stump. And Stark's both these bowls are really trying to bamboozle India out with body line tactics. It's almost 1 run and over for India so far. If you have such a defensive game, it's often different the way Australia will look at it. They're really holding off India. And you just can't dot a Pujara to get them out, but you could dot up the others to get them out. But it have to be a lot of dots. Unless they're looking for a draw, then in case you're going to have to bowl a more attacking format. The attacking style of really attack the batsman, which is what they're trying to do to Pujara. Attack his the top of his off stump. It's probably the best plan for him. Stark to Agarwal. Stark in. Agarwal. It's quite a little bit shortish of a length outside off stump, and it's sort of been dodged. What do you think about it, Tyrell?
Well, if Mitchell Stark keeps pitching it outside the off stump and Agarwal just playing very defensively, just like Pujara, he, in my opinion, might not have to get edgy. I'm talking about Agarwal.
If you think about it, this over's been 3 dots, and it's not even Pujara batting, is it? It's been Agarwal batting. It's been a real testing, trying game, if you think about that, in that way. And winning the toss and batting, Bowls. That's a nice bouncer outside the off stump. It really just goes up at him and challenges him. Now, Agarwal in the tour match against Australia hit 2 runs in the first innings and 61 runs in the second innings. And perhaps maybe in the tour match he was a bit more defensive. That might have been the difference. So he got out of that bouncer really, really nicely, I thought. Just sort of ducked out of the way. I mean, it was 140 kilometres per hour, that delivery. Starks 1 before, 3.4. Because you didn't know. Player number 56, as they say. They should put the player... I wonder, rather than having player numbers, they could have like their number of where they sit in the batting order. I think that would be cool to have on the back of their shirt. Because it's easier to remember, in my opinion. Stark bowls. That's a nice shortish length delivery outside off stump. And it's getting good pace there, 146 kilometres per hour, and there'll be no run. He's left it alone. This is probably going to be a maiden over.
The other thing I'm surprised with Mitchell Stark, he hasn't clocked the 100-mile-per-hour barrier yet.
He certainly has a lot of pace. Look, it's 5 dots this over. He's dotting him up with all the pace he's been given. And he's one of those bowlers that are actually bowling the good old pace. Like most players nowadays don't have enough pace to swing it a bit more. It's interesting because, for example, New Zealand bowls, other than Wagner, they're not very fast. I remember that test series very well. He bowls, that's a foolish pitched up delivery outside off stump. There will be no run. So Stark sitting around 1 for 4 off 4 overs. 7 overs gone, India 1 for 7. That delivery, quite full, wasn't it? There's always a lot to say about Australian cricket, especially the fact that that was a maiden over, just left alone. He literally, like, you imagine a T20, they would have played an inventive shot and just tried to get it through the third man region. But think about it, the run rate is 1 run per over. And Tyrell, what do you think about this over just in general? I'm just looking at things on the screen. India really being tested, if you see from on top. The way they're positioned is their backs are quite pushed down, ready to duck out of the way of a bouncer. So it's interesting how they've resulted from full pitch bowling to more like a different style of tactic. Last over was really shortish. And I reckon the pace could be going up actually. You're right about that, Tyrell. Hazelwood bowls, length ball outside off stump, sort of came in a little bit, the slightest amount to Pujara. 139.7 kilometres per hour. 2 runs off 21 balls, Pujara. How do you rate that delivery?
A very good delivery from Josh Hazelwood. And he's bowling in the right areas. I recently was watching the West Indies New Zealand series, and not a single West Indian bowler, with the exception of Shannon Gabriel and Older, bowling in the right area. As you can see, David Bourne is the match referee.
Yeah. Interesting also the fielding, right? They have a massive gap through the point region, but it's bowls, that's defended there for no run, although they can often cut shot short bowling. There's a gap between deep fine leg and square leg. There's sort of a gap through mid-on, mid-wicket area. They're the fielding gaps for you. That's sort of explained. Also, while you're at it, we're actually looking at Channel 7 footage. What do you reckon of Channel 7's graphics on the screen, like, if you don't mind me asking you?
It's a little better than Fox graphics and the Sony 6 graphics in India in particular. I like the Aussie graphics much better.
Ball, that's a length ball outside off stump. Continue
graphics,
talking.
but good ball.
Yeah, no run. Keep talking, seriously, mate.
The graphics are way better than the one that Fox Cricket has. Even way better than Sony 6 in their own too. Because I did watch some of Sony's footage, and I must admit, their commentary is pure crap.
Yeah. Sony 6 I was looking at when they relayed some not pirated, but like videos on YouTube that doesn't belong to them. Bowls, length. Oh, there's an edge and he's dropped it. That is eerily close to the important dismissal, and drop catches are very frustrating.
That is as close as it gets me.
Yeah. You've dropped Pujara, you could be dropping the trophy, I tell you. Drop Pujara, you drop the trophy. That's one of the biggest things. Like, you get one shot at him and he'll make one mistake, but he won't make a second.
But I think it may have just bounced in front of the two, but that should have been stopped.
Definitely.
If it had carried.
Burn, Smith and Labuschagne in the slips for Australia. Hopefully they will try a bit harder next time.
But I'll be glad to see David Warner back for the Boxing Day test.
Yeah. I'm hoping he makes it.
And Burns gets the odds.
Yeah. Bowls. And Pujara defends it. Yeah, that drop catch off the edge certainly got him driving there, sort of outside the off stump. That was the thing about that delivery.
Oh, and there's a Trinidadian slang that I have to tell you about, mate.
What?
You drop a a star batsman, you get the click. I got it from a popular talk show that airs every night in Trinidad.
Okay. So it's often like there's always those sayings about how you do in cricket bowls. That's a nice ball. That one in swings there and bounces over the stumps. It's very interesting to watch. The Australian bowls are really testing out these Indian batsmen. They're bowling absolute heat today, as we all know. So you see there, that was bouncing on a length outside off, and it swung all the way to go over the top of off stump, over the top of middle stump intact. So that's a really good delivery. As you can see there, Kohli in the camp. Virat Kohli.
But I have a confession to make about Virat Kohli.
I love your confessions. Go and do one.
After this delivery.
Quickly.
Dad, I must say, mate, his attitude, I really do not like his attitude.
Okay.
But his batting is pure class.
Yes. Okay, we need to go to a break. It's 1 for 10. Some people ask, why should I subscribe to this YouTube channel? One good thing from the coverage was certainly the commentary.
Maybe they've all bowled rubbish. That's a very good shot. That is
absolutely incredible to watch.
How epic is this going to be?
Oh, go get that. Oh, good shot. Oh.
If you're still not convinced, come and suggest your video. We'd like to hear it in the live chat or comment section of the current video you're watching. Stark running in to bowl now. Bowling heat. He bowls at short-ish, and it's sort of gone at the pads, and he's hit that one down to fine leg for a single. I do agree. I mean, Kohli's a very extroverted, energetic person. I think he's one of those players that make things look like more than it is. So, I think that's why a lot of people think that way about him. And I think he's the king at batting. You're right about that. But, I'm happy that people are honest about the way people play their cricket. When Kohli's batting, all of India are so hyped up. And I think he gets driven by hype in the crowd. If he was to make a mistake, not saying he will, it would have been from hype. If he was to sledge someone badly, it would have been hype from the crowd. But I think it's good that we have engaging cricketers, although sometimes he's a bit fiery, but you need that in cricket. We don't need to play that good old 1800s posh sport. I mean, it's boring posh. Bowls, it's a nice shortish length delivery bouncing over Pujara there, outside off stump, 138 km an hour. He hasn't brought the pace up much, Stark. But yeah, I think cricket, in my opinion, is quite posh as it is, and I think we need to have a bit more fun in the game and a bit less poshness, if you know what I mean by that. You know what I mean? But there is a fine line. Less sledging. I think non-offensive banter and sledging are two different things. If you say, good to see you, mate. But if it's like a racial or a personal or something like that, it's not. It's wrong. You know what I mean?
I don't like that.
Me either. There's a lot to say about that.
In comes King Stark.
And let's just tap to square leg there. Lyon doing the fielding, no run. It's great because I don't have to edit much when the scores don't move much. You see there, Lyon was fielding all the way out at, I think it's leg gully. He's pretty good at leg gully as well. Lyon was fielding at square leg, but he came in pretty quickly to field that. It means that the fielders are coming in and putting pressure on, judging by how Lyon walked in and got it. But Pujara's 4 runs off 29 deliveries. It's like any old player would get out to that because they feel pressured. But not him. There's Cameron Green as well on test debut. Bowls. Ooh, that's a good delivery. That's on the pads. An inside edge to leg gully. Lyon does all the diving there. Excellent effort, but nothing in return. So it would have been an absolute thriller of a catch if he had caught that line, but instead they'll grab a couple of runs. So I see there, Lyon would have had to dive down a little bit more. He would have had to commit. Ooh, maybe if he put his arm down 10, 15 centimetres or 20 centimetres, he might have had the wicket, but it's almost lucky. That's a really hard catch to take. But you can't miss Pujara. I wouldn't call that a missed chance, but you need to hang on to him. They dropped him at first, and I wouldn't call it a drop, but they got close again. So 2 close calls to Pujara. Stark runs in. Pujara on strike. Bowls a lengthish delivery on outside off stump slightly and defended straight to cover for no run. I don't know about you, but I definitely think Kohli is a king, but I don't think he's better than Smith. All the good players always are a bit, they can't help it. They're always a little bit proud of themselves. So,
I know what you meant.
yeah, they have a lot of pride in their team, a lot of pride about how they play their cricket, and people misinterpret it a lot, and they have to be tough enough to deal with criticism. That's the thing. Ayush Yadav says in the live chat, "Am I a cricketer myself? I play club cricket." Bowls, that's a full delivery, hits that down to mid-off. That's a really good drive off the front foot, and they will probably grab 3 runs. The fielding chase, excellent. Yeah, interesting that question you ask. 1 for 16 off 9 overs. Yeah, am I a cricketer myself? Well, a lot of people who commentate, I'm probably not going to play for Australia. It'd be a dream, but I probably won't. But I do play cricket, yes. I know a bit about it, know a few skills, know a few tricks up my sleeve. And I love cricket. So, I'm seeing on the TV, look on the fried side of life. Always look on the fried side of life. Doo-dum, 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 doo-dum. Always. No, that's always look on the bright side of life. Not fried side of life. There's the teams as well. Interesting selections we have. Prithvi Shaw and Mayank Agarwal. It's a real appreciation for India to have the choice to bat first. I think it's better than bowling first for India, that's for sure. If I was India, I definitely would not bowl first. It'd be a silly decision. Hazelwood bowls, that's a nice delivery on the stumps hit too. That shortish mid-wicket fieldsman for no run. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the live chat. Ayush Yadav says India will win and Kohli will hit a double ton. Bold predictions.
Very interesting prediction from Mr. Yadav. I think we should also ask him why Shimron Gill is not in the side, even though Prithvi Shaw is a good opener.
Just in general, the quality of Indian cricket is so underrated. Bowls, that one's just snuck to the mid-off region for a single. The quality of Indian cricket is really good. Now you can just sort of see Pujara's building on a bit more to 10 off 34. 1 for 17 India. They're getting so close to dismissing Pujara. It is ridiculous, honestly, from Australia. They're getting that close. The bowlers are getting the right areas. You can just tell out both teams look like this is, so far, I reckon it's going to be a great test. Regardless of predictions, regardless of who you think is going to win, it's going to be a test match that's going to be fiery. Bowls that delivery. Length ball outside off stump. No run. Left alone.
And speaking of fiery, mate, this test series is going to be smoke and fire from both the sides.
Hell yeah. There's nothing more to expect. It's not going to be easy on the eye so there's going to be a lot of very defensive parts of the game. That's why I think one of these games will definitely be a draw. That's why it's smart to have a full match test series. Bowls, that's a nice full pitch delivery and he hits it straight to that gully fieldsman for no run. See, Stark got Prithvi Shaw out very, very early. Which was a good effort from him, just really pitching it up, really challenging that batsman. As I said, Stark is often driving the batsman and getting inside edges and leading edges sort of, and shots that are just flowing away to that slips and
just give me 1 second, mate.
I think they're heading towards slip catch, to be honest. So Hazelwood bowls. That's a ball on sort of the pads, and that's defended. I think a short leg that caught it, if I'm right. It's no run. seeing some defensive cricket today. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the live chat. We're privileged to see you there. All the bold predictions you have, all the crazy things you have to say. Think about that for a moment. A test match that's on its knees all the time. Just got to stay tuned, like you just don't know what to expect. And you've got Hazelwood bowling now. Bowls. That's a full pitch delivery and a beautiful cover drive from Mayank Agarwal. First boundary, I think, there. Excellent shot there. He's finally hit a boundary. India probably needed that breakthrough boundary, put a bit of pressure off. And he drives it through cover. And it's probably the perfect shot to choose. It was quite full outside off. Sort of. But Stark's going to get you driving. But Mayank Agarwal's going to be the one having to play an efficient drive. Because Hazelwood, I don't think the intention was to get him to drive. I think he just dragged it across a little bit. Went a bit full and wide, I think. He flayed it. And that's Hazelwood's only weakness today is a couple of full and wide deliveries. But other than that, he's been superb. And the balance as well composed there in the crease is absolutely fantastic. Sort of just waited for it. And then sort of just leaned into it and struck it so well. Mitchell Stark's out of the attack now. They have Pat Cummins. Now, we know historically he's had the wood over Virat Kohli. India 1 for 21 after 10. Pat Cummins taking right arm fast from the cathedral end.
He's got a really good average, Pat Cummins.
21, yeah. I did a comparison video on Cummins v Bumrah, if you're interested.
Personally, Cummins is better than Bumrah. And the other fact that I have to point out, Abdul Razak, the former Pakistani all-rounder, he is a bit better than Bumrah.
Wow.
Because there was a time he called him Baby Bumrah.
Bowls, that's a length ball outside off stump, no run. That's a good start to Cummins' spell. It's interesting because we know that Cummins traditionally has the wood over Virat Kohli. And how are we going to get a player like Virat Kohli out? But I think Virat Kohli can be slightly overrated in the test format. Like, players average 2 or 3 less than him, like, all around him. Like, players have similar averages to him in this Indian team. So it's just generally a good team. It's not just Virat Kohli you need to watch out for. It's the whole entire team.
Yep.
And how are they going to sort out the whole entire team?
And the other problem India has, there's no reference to Jadeja, who's still injured.
Bowls, that one's on the stumps and it's hit the short leg for no run. Yeah, and Jadeja's a very good fielder and he's a very good... Yeah, he's just a 3-way all-round cricketer that's perfect.
But India really missing him, I must admit.
Yeah.
Same with Hardik Pandya, he should have been in the test side.
Definitely. No doubt about that.
But it takes step by step.
Yeah, you got to just get through the game, you know. Whatever happens, happens. Bowls, that's a delivery that's just sort of strolled onto gully for no run. 139.7 kilometres per hour. So 3 dots for this over. Pujara 10 off 37. 10.3 overs. Think about it, just pushing into that delivery. Every delivery today has been really good. Other than a couple from Hazelwood, they were a bit full and wide. But Pujara, I'm just seeing here on the screen, left alone. He's left alone deliveries that are challenging sort of his sort of on top of the off stump, and a few outside off stump on a length. He's actually left alone. He's defended a lot of deliveries that hang near those areas but not there. The ones that are lower on him, he can just stroke into. And he'd be very good with a low bounce as well. Be interesting. The less bouncy services, he's pretty good. India 1 for 21. It's interesting the way that Pujara handles himself with the crease. Such an important asset. Cummins runs in and bowls. That's another length ball outside off stump left alone. So, again, very, very good bowling. Again, challenging that batsman and bat swing. And, you know, he's been leaving a lot outside off stump shed as well, Pujara. Which is very, very interesting.
Yes, he has been.
Well, I think that's one of his strengths. Australian cricketers traditionally get very impatient leaving outside off stump. Anyway, 5 dots over from Cummins. I think India would be happier with 5 maiden over than 1 for 50 off and over right now. Bowls. That's a delivery that's just sort of straight on to the pads, and he'll grab a single. And India will be 1 for 22 after 11 overs. So that's interesting. Nathan Lyon as well has an average of 31.59. The run rate sitting after 11 overs is 1 for 22. So that means that it's 2 runs per over, only 1 run off that over. So Pujara will be on 11 off 40, Agarwal 10 off 25. So there's some interesting statistics for you. Any other confessions we want to hear from you? Cricket confessions. Not just yet. Just stay tuned. Yeah, stay tuned for the good old confessions. The last ball of an over hit for a single. Cameron Green was given the cap from Pat Cummins, fast bowler.
AKA the vice captain.
Yeah. Pat Cummins, eh? Good pace, good swing. He only got 1 run off that last over. He's done quite well. Cameron Green enjoying the cap. Hazelwood bowling to Pujara.
This one will be really spicy.
Hazelwood to Pujara always is. Wait till Cummins bowls to Pujara again. I think something's going to happen next over. Lots of action in the middle. Bowls that short, and he is ducked out of the way, Pujara. It's actually sort of a good bouncer there. I mean, India 1 for 22 in, what are we, in 12th over. 11 off 41, Pujara. 10 off 25 from Agarwal.
There is a mark that I have to bust, but during the lunch interval.
Okay.
And
Obviously,
it's related to Hardik Pandya, and some former cricketer said something about him.
interesting. So stay tuned for the lunch break as well. He bowls. It's a delivery that's hit to mid-wicket for no run. We're going to have a lot of interesting live discussion in the lunch break. We're going to have all the important information. We're going to have a couple of nice pre-recorded videos set up for you that I set up last night in the last minute. One interesting conversation about English cricket I had with the cricket badgers and Will, or just the English cricket badger, to be fair with you, which was also very, very interesting. So a lot of things coming up in the lunch break. It's not going to be boring at all. Tyrell's confessions, English cricket conversation, all about bowls that once defended for no run. All about, like, players' consistency. Now let's just talk about Hazelwood creating angle to Pujara. As you can see on the screen there, Tyrell. And he's really pushing it in, isn't he?
I would not be surprised if Josh Hazelwood starts to bowl wide to the crease and gets the LBW to shape back into the right-handed batsman.
Totally. I mean, Hazelwood, a lot of people have said that Hazelwood's better than Cummins, which is a big thing to say. He bowls that once defended back down the ground for no run. Australia have had a similar bowling attack for the last 4 or 5 years. After we lost Johnson, we were just like, Hazelwood, Stark and Cummins, keep the fast bowling cartel, and occasionally rotate a couple of other fast bowlers in, just in case they're tired. But, Hazelwood, average of 26 with the ball, 195 test wickets, 5 more wickets, and he's got the big goal. So
He deserves 200 test wickets, Josh Hazelwood. He deserves it.
hell yeah. Great player, in the game. Hazelwood bowls. That's a full pitch delivery and a great drive down the ground from Cheteshwar Pujara. They won't grab 4, but they will certainly grab 3. 1 for 25, India. Nice and full there, opening Pujara up into driving it. Interestingly, as I said, Pujara averages 74.43 against Australia in tests. 4 matches, 521 runs, 300s in that test series against Australia in 2018-19. It was a hard-fought series by India, and I feel like Australia didn't have as much talent as they do now back then, but now they're sort of building in a little bit more, which is excellent. Pujara just got good balance there, and he just strokes it almost Same way as he hits every other delivery. Bowls, that's a nice delivery outside off stump. Would have beaten him there. Good line and length. Left alone. So 1 for 25 after 12. Any other points you have to make? Because that delivery, by the way, line and length, superb. Just swinging through, sort of just bouncing through quite nicely there. I mean, you look at it, Pujara's on 14, Agarwal's on 10. It's the type of game that is really done well. Sort of flow through. Just really enjoying it. It's great to be having Tyrell in as a guest as well. I mean, after 12 overs, India 1 for 25. I always wonder, what's going to happen next? Who's going to hit the action? What really are we to expect from this massive test match? You know.
I'd love to see Nathan Lyon be brought into the attack, really. Even Cameron Green as well.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a drinks break. Do you reckon it's time for... Yeah, we're going to look through have the teams graphic up on the screen, and we're just going to talk through the teams. And do you have any confessions about the Australian-Indian teams?
The Indian side, in my opinion, if Virat Kohli is not going to play, we know Virat Kohli is not going to play the remaining 3 tests because he's expected to be joined by his celebrity wifey. We know Gill might replace him for the second test, and there's a possibility Rohit Sharma could play the last 2 tests once he's done with quarantine, because I've been told that he is going to join the squad, but is going to go in isolation for 2 weeks.
That's interesting. There's a lot to expect from Rohit Sharma.
The hitman. I can't wait to see him back. He hasn't played any international cricket for almost a year.
Yeah. It's really going to be good. Now, is there anything you have to say about the Australian Test 11?
I must say, this definitely is Joe Burns' last chance.
Sure, definitely.
Stephen Warner going to be coming back for the next test.
He is. He really needs to appreciate this is his real last chance at Test cricket. And it's a matter of fact. He's going to get dropped at some point. And he has just been done very, very poorly in the Sheffield Shield. So he's just going to have to bounce back somehow, have a long, hard look at himself and say, this is what I have done.
Same thing with Ashad Shafiq. When Ashad was dropped from the Pakistani squad for the New Zealand tour, he scored 100 the other day and is still struggling a bit in the Quad-e Aslam Trophy back in Pakistan, for an example. But one of the youngsters should have gotten a chance for Australia. The guy who struggled in one of the warm-up games and missed the last one. I'm talking about Will something. I forgot his last name because it's confusing.
Will Bukowski.
Yeah, Wilpers.
Well, there's the first delivery from Cummins there. It's been beaten outside the off stump. Excellent line and length there from Pat Cummins, sort of full pitch, sort of getting him driving a little bit. But again, he's sort of missed that delivery.
Because he should have gotten a chance.
Definitely. As we have Cummins running in again. Of course. He bowls. That's a nice ball outside off stump, left alone. Really testing out the batsman. Yeah, I think Bukowski's a fair reserve. Like, injury-stricken Bukowski means that we have two players opening the batting, and they're the ones that are borderline dropped. They're borderline to getting dropped. And that's what's going to happen, Players get dropped. It's a fact of cricket. And you have Will Bukowski, who's been smashing it around. I mean, it was on a rubbish pitch. He did it 200 on a rubbish pitch, but 200 on a rubbish pitch is still 150 in a normal game. You know what I mean? So he's still doing well. Bowls, it's hit to gully. And there will be no run. So, look, as far as I know, Shubman Gill will be a viable replacement for Virat Kohli. I think that will be the perfect person to sort of bring Kohli out of the side, bring Gill in, the young player, and it'll be quite exciting.
And once Rohit Sharma comes back, pretty sure he's going to lose his place in the side for sure. We know that for a fact.
He bowls, that one's defended. Or will they just bring out the replace Rohit, put Rohit Sharma in Virat Kohli's spot? Would that be a fair decision?
Most likely, definitely. Let him bat in the middle order instead of risking him at the top of the order.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's honestly interesting. Don't forget to share your
I was supposed to react to some video that my school made yesterday, but I didn't got time, but I sent it out to them, but we'll talk about that.
Bowls, that one's hit to mid-wicket for no run. So, India 1 for 25. Pat Cummins test average with the ball. Stump 16.36, channel 22.5, and wide is 25.36. So, they're interesting statistics. So, Cummins, talking about him, probably should keep it on the stumps and try and really hone it in there on the middle and off stump. Like, that can really challenge him a lot. Cummins runs in. Really fast as well. Bowls, defends. No run. 13 overs gone. 1 for 25. 142.3 kilometres. That's an hour under that delivery. And Pujar's on 14. Agarwal is on 10. Cummins 0 for 1 off 2 overs is figures. So, interesting. Just that delivery, sort of just bowled outside of some of the length and just pushing in at the stumps. That's exactly what Pat Cummins needs to do in this match.
Next year, this place is going to be back to normal. I mean, the world.
The world. Yeah. I agree with you. Like, we can't... YouTube, we're not allowed to mention the name of what we're talking about, but you know what we're talking about. You know, the thing that locks us in our houses and stuff, and makes people comment on
I don't want to point that out. I don't want to point it out.
Yeah. But, like, in a year's time, I think it'll either be vaccinations or it'll be something else, but there'll be a way for it to be over. Like, in Australia, it's pretty much over. Like, there's the occasional case that comes out in certain states, but, like, where I live in WA, there's just nothing. There's just no real community spread or anything. It's like, I've literally been shaking hands and physical contact with other people where I live, but most places you can't do that. It's just a sign that in places like Australia, you're fine with it. It's just in the places where people live very close to each other that's very dodgy, like in USA or India or something. That's where it's a bit of an issue. And people are living in apartments.
The good thing is that Mitchell Stark has swapped ends mate. Hazelwood is out and Stark is back in. He's only bowled 5 overs so far.
He's definitely going to leave out some good old roughed up areas in the pitch. Perfect for Pat Cummins. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the live chat. Yeah, some issues on the side screen. You need to make sure people share their thoughts in the live chat as well, because we want to hear from you guys. Where have you been all day? The last message was 21 minutes ago. I can literally go off my screen and look at Foxtel Go footage and look at some more interesting information. I get both channels of those. Bowls, finally, full pitch, hit straight to fielder, no run. Cover region. So it was quite foolish, that delivery, just blocks sort of, and fielder's right there. 144 kilometres per hour there from Mitchell Stark. Still the umpires chasing stuff around. Stark will be running in quick, that's for sure. So don't forget to share your thoughts in the live chat. It's very, very important to do. Stark runs in, bowls, shortish of a length, outside off stump, no run. just testing this thing out. I'm going to go back to the old mode of how it all worked, because it just wasn't working for a bit. Because it's not very, it's very amateur having two separate microphones. Therefore, I can. Yeah. Anyway, I'm on air. Stark runs in up to the crease, bowls, length ball outside off stump, no run. Excellent bowling. Stark all bowled in his first spell. You walk through this for us, Tyrell.
He's bowling really well at the moment, Mitchell Stark. He's pitching it in the right areas, especially those bouncers. Especially a couple of the bouncers that he bowled, even the one round the stumps. But that full delivery that he got to get rid of, Pretty Sure.
Yeah, and I don't think
he's bowling in the right area.
Yeah, I don't think the Australians are very aware of how good Prithvi Shaw is. Stark bowls, that's a shortish delivery, and that's defended. No to mid-off region, no run. Share your thoughts in the live chat. It'll mean a lot. Right. So there's a bit of a systematic change in the broadcast with technology, Tyrell. So I hope you can see if you can hear me.
Yeah.
It's going to be probably going to be at the end of the over, anyway. Stark running in, I suppose. 2 balls left of the over.
14.4. Come on, Stark. No, come on. Oh, please.
He bowls. That's a very good bouncer. He ducks. That is really, really quick from Mitchell Stark. Just wants to get out of the way of that. Stark running in 1 for 25. It's nearly 14 overs gone. He bowls. That's a nice delivery. He's pushing right across him. End of the 14th over. Right, it's 1 for 25. This is the Galactic Ice Waves channel. It's a great channel. You should definitely check it out and subscribe. It's absolutely brilliant. And this is why.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another attempting to win all hypers games. And now that it's 0, write down x equals infinity. And now that it's infinity, write down x equals 0. Get out.
Welcome back everyone to Australia v India. We're live again. India Pujara is on strike. Cummins bowls. That's a nice ball on the stumps. That's defended there. So, India 1 for 25. Excellent bowling. There again by Patrick Cummins. 0 for 1 off 2.1. Pat Cummins. Now, if you want to join the stream, you're more than welcome to. In commentary, I don't know where everyone else is. They're supposed to have a few more guests today, more than one, but anyway, I can't be bothered chasing people. I'm lazy. I shouldn't say that on there, but you know what I mean.
It happens, mate. It happens.
Yeah.
By the way, I have a question.
Yeah.
It's from the recent one this series, but we'll talk about that afterwards.
Yeah. Well, that's a good delivery outside off stump as well. No run.
Alright, Ethan. I have a question that I did point out on social media recently on the 30th of November. And the question was, with what the matches going overtime, do you think teams should be breached and be deducted overs, just like in the old days itself?
Yeah, I think both teams should be punished for the issue. But it should be a certain amount based on what. You know what I mean? On what the fault is. Bowls, that's
True.
Defended for no run. So if it's one specific team's fault, if it's a mix of the two, so if it's 70% someone's fault, they pay 70% of the fines. That's fair.
That was an inside edge here.
Yeah.
But no harm done.
You really, India's been very defensive today, that's for sure. And I remember the first test in Adelaide last couple of years back, it was exactly like this, very defensive start. It's going to be very, very interesting, of course.
But the difference was 3 years back, India, I think, had lost 3 wickets early, and Pujara did save them.
Bowles, that one's defended for no run. Yeah, exactly.
I'm still kind of disappointed with the Indian selectors in how they haven't given Rahane and Pujara a fair run in one-day cricket. That still freaks me out a bit.
Nah, Pujara's not a one-day player. See if anyone said anything on the other premiere. You see the smile there. And you said something. Bowles at one's hit to the fielder for no run. Exactly what I said in the live chat. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the live chat. So, in between this over, I'm going to look over. Oh, that inside edge of Prithvi Shaw, wasn't it? Stark knocked him over. It was an absolute roaring pace. It was just brilliant bowling, to be honest. Doesn't get better than that. Runs in, Cummins. Bowls again. Length line on the stumps. Tapped to mid-wicket for no runs. This is my backyard bowling package. I can get that right. The end of the over. So all the backyard stuff. Just the NBN there. Sorry about that. So this is the last I'm going to show you today, guys. If you weren't joining earlier, this is all my backyard bowling practice. Where I bowl to what? So just a long length I bowl. In between the overs. So there's 3 maiden overs in a row. Very interesting statistic, isn't that right? Like, not often that happens. Bowls, it's a nice lofted shot. Over the gully fieldsman for 4. Mayank Agarwal says, I need to take this delivery on, and he goes for it and hits it.
Finally, a relief for the Indian batsmen, especially Mayank Agarwal. They haven't hit in a boundary up till this delivery, and a good shot, even though it was a bit uppish, he still found the gap.
And it's scary the thought they've had 3 maiden overs in a row as well. That was honestly, oof, you know. I thought he picked up the length quite well, and it was probably on purpose, that shot. He timed it well enough to get it over the field, which is an excellent effort from Mayank Agarwal. Stark was frustrated, as you can tell. Stark bowls again. That's another good delivery. He's hit it to mid off for no run. And this isn't bad bowl. That was a bit of a leading edge, but he timed it well enough, and that was smart that he had got the timing that delivery away, that boundary. So finally the breakthrough boundary. I mean, it was 3 overs of maiden over straight. I mean, it's a bit ridiculous. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the live chat on what you think about that. And, you know, been away from Test cricket for a while since, you know, I remember all the memories of that England-West Indies broadcast and England-Pakistan broadcast. Did you get to watch any of those, Tyrell? The England-West Indies and England-Pakistan coverage after this delivery.
Regarding England-West Indies,
Bowls. There's ducked a good bouncer there. No run. You heard my broadcast and stuff with all the cricket badges and stuff like that, and even Will from Sports
a
Express.
little bit, not much, because I was preparing for exams during the England-West Indies series.
Yeah. Otherwise
I
you'd be.
caught up a bit on the England-Pakistan.
Otherwise you definitely would have been there in commentary in England West Indies. Tell you what, it would have been great. Yeah. So India's sitting at 1 for 29 now.
I must admit, I have plenty of haters in my home country and on social media too.
Really?
That's the part I have to confess to about.
Bowls, that one's defended for no run. Well, I don't have too many haters. I had a couple of things. I had one joke that people call me People make fun of me for copyright and stuff sometimes, like not more strikes than likes. People make that to me, and it's not very nice, you know. But like, it's not too bad. But I can imagine like they're not haters. Like, they're far from haters. They're just, you know. Yeah.
Oh, news just coming in, mate. With Baba Azam injured for Pakistan, Shadab Khan is going to take over as T20 captain for the 3-match series.
Interesting.
He
So.
fractured his jaw.
Yeah. Bowles that once defended there for no run. As we can see here on the screen, on my screen on this broadcast, there is a T20 coming up on tomorrow between New Zealand and Pakistan, which will be around the same time of this test match. So I have to find ways to update you on that match. It's going to be big, I promise you. It's not a small test. Small T20, sorry. Big Bash is also going to be played out in the morning as well. These are all the results. So a couple of tour matches as well in operation. A lot of very interesting things to update you on.
And a recent domestic game in South Africa was called off due to a positive COVID-19 test.
Alright, yep. He bowls, that one's clipped to square leg for 2 runs. Don't mention the name of that thingy because...
No, I'm not going to mention
don't say the C word, okay? You know what? Rona. But like... I have to try and explain it to you. Because like YouTube are, well, arrogant in a way. They demonetize people for mentioning the name of it. So if I make money in 5 years' time, I want to make sure this is monetizing in 5 years' time. Anyway, I shouldn't say that on there. Should not say that on there at all. But anyway, it's 1 for 31.
But should we blame Donald Trump?
Yeah, he's been... I don't want to talk too much about politics on there because people get mad at me. But yeah, Trump was poor. Trump was... I have to be very honest here. Rubbish. I'm sorry, sorry Trump supporters, but I only have 0 viewers right now. Trump's rubbish. He's just rubbish, you know. He's just useless, you know. He's just aristocracy, you know. He's gonna screw up America as always. With people like that as presidents. I saw that very hilarious video of where Biden runs out Trump. I literally watched it. I showed it to so many people, and I just died out laughing, you know. Cummins bowls. It's a length ball outside off stump left alone. It's not a place for politics, maybe not, but you know, you gotta. It's such a big world event, a US election. You know, you just gotta, you know, talk about it sometimes. You know, Trump versus Biden. They also had this Libertation Party with Joe Jorgensen who got like barely any votes, but you know, they were the number 3. I mean, you never talk about number 3 and number 4 and number 5. Kanye West ran out for presidency. I mean, honestly, probably do a better job than Trump. Probably should be not. Anyway, he bowls. That's a length ball outside off stump, left alone there for no run. Yeah, you know, it's good to have like.
What's my mate?
Yeah. You okay?
Yeah, I'm cool, mate.
Yeah. Seeing Cameron Green there. I wonder when they're going to bring Green into the attack. He could be able to get this important wicket, I wonder. Because maybe the Indians don't know much about camera Green. I mean, there's Sheffield Shield footage, but like, the amount of camera angles they have is less than what I could get. Well, maybe not that, but like, you know what I mean. They have as many camera angles as I could probably get. Bowls, that one's defended to mid-wicket for no run. Like, the quality of the Sheffield Shield streams are horrible. They're just there with a couple of average radio commentators just to let you know on what's happening in the game. Just so they can see the game. You don't need. It's not for seeing it like in a nice way like how the TV do it. Like all the nice camera angles, all the nice luxuries, all the perfect ball followings, perfect everything. They don't have that. None of that on Cricket Network. It's just a back camera. Sometimes you're watching the players' backs for half the time. And the tour match was a co-production, so that's why it had several camera angles. He bowls. That one's ducked off a good bouncer. No run there. He's just gotten out of the way there, Pujara. With productions, right, you have Foxtel and Cricket Network co-broadcast the tour match. That's why it had multiple camera angles. When it's just Cricket Network on its own with Sheffield Shield, it's sometimes one camera angle. And if you're lucky, 2. 2 or 3 if you're lucky. You're not going to have... How many camera angles you're seeing on the screen right now on Channel 7? It's like 10 different camera angles. It's like, how? I think some of them are actually... They use Fox's cameras, I think, for like the game cameras. But they actually have cameras on the commentators as well. It all adds up. Bowls. It's a nice length ball. It's hit him on the pads there. No run. Yeah, the television have fantastic productions of cricket. It's really good.
And a slight appeal too from the Aussies.
Yeah. I think Fox's cameras, the only thing is they zoom in too much in front of the wicket. So when 7 take Fox's camera feed in front of the wicket and they've got a smaller graphic, it actually makes it look a lot better. It sort of levels it out a bit. You know what I mean?
Even Brian Lara is following the test match too.
Yeah. Brian Lara's on 7's commentary team, to be honest.
Pretty big bash.
Yeah. Can't wait to hear it. He bowls. That's on the stumps. He sort of nicked it on the floor to gully there for no run. So 1 for 31 India at the end of the over. And don't forget to have your interactions. We really want to hear you guys share what you think about this match. Your predictions, everything like that. We really want you to know what you think.
There was a question that Lara posted out. And the question was, what is the real reason for the first movement as the bowler is about to deliver the ball? I think he's talking about Mitchell Starc.
Interesting. So, just seeing you on the screen, India Pujara, 2018-19 Test Series versus Australia. First Test, 123 and 71. Second Test, 24 and 4, and 106 and 0. And the third Test in Melbourne, 193 in Sydney. He's just a deadly player they need to watch out for. And I want you to share your thoughts in the live chat. Which Indian player should Australia fear the most? That's your question for the live chat. Starc bowls. That one's just hit through cover and they will grab a quick single. Maybe through extra cover more like. 1 for 32. India. We're in the 18th over. So, massive lunch break. We're going to talk about just some random stuff about the Big Bash last night and how horrible that rain was, how bad the weather is in Launceston, and then we're going to talk about...
I did saw the highlights on the news.
Yeah, and then we're going to talk about Tyrell's confession after that, and then after that we're going to talk about English with this old conversation from a live stream. Bowls, it's a ball on the stumps, it's hit down the ground for no run. We're going to have that conversation about English cricket and player consistency, which was recorded off our England-West Indies stream in the first 10 minutes, and we just took it off and so just clipped it onto our live stream. I just screen recorded it and put it through so you can watch it and enjoy it. And it will be re-uploaded on this Analog Casual channel, soonly enough. Probably change that featured channels graphic. Don't mind if I edit a little bit.
No problem, mate.
It's not going to be too much of a difference. Analog TV is me. It's the actual me, not the fake me. Well, this is no, that's not true. That's not true. Don't. Analog TV. You need to subscribe to that. That's my main channel. This is sort of my backup channel because I have to live stream here. So I forgot to change that title out. It takes hours and hours to edit titles for live streams, so sometimes I get lazy. I mean, Pujara faced the most deliveries in the Test series between Australia and India a couple of years back, just on the statistics. Cause I try and be a bit funny because my target audience is a lot of teenagers and people like that, and they want humour. You know what I mean? They don't want just over analogy and posh stuff. Balls, it's a length ball. Oh, that's more shorter than length. Not looking for the posh stuff, baby, this evening. I need posh stuff. I'm joking. Please forgive me. After all that I've done, as Brian Adams would say. That's an old joke. That's a boomer joke. Dad joke. Ooh, no, it's fine. I'm just joking. Dad, you're a legend. Shout out. Kudos to you. You're a legend. 1 for 32, India. Rocked over. Nearly 18 overs done. 3 dots in a row from Starc.
I think this is going to be another maiden over from Starc.
It's already been 1 run. The first ball was 1 run and the next 3 deliveries were dots. Bowls. That one's hit to the fielder for no run. No, it won't be a maiden over because the first ball was a single. Then the next 4 deliveries, including the one that just happened with dots. So it's already 1 run off the over. 1 off 5 this over. Starks 1 for 17. India winning the toss and choosing to bat. Sort of trying to work across at that delivery. Pujara just happened. Now we're going to have Stark running again for the last ball of the over.
Here he comes.
Yes, he runs into bowl. He bowls. Hits that 1-2 back for no run.
He's a bit unhappy, Pujara. I'm not sure why, but it's the end of the over anyways.
Yeah. We're just going to look at the cricket update title. So the cricket that's been happening around. So, firstly, the Scorchers versus the Stars. That game was rained off. Very disappointing, wasn't it?
What a disappointment. You should have got the 6 overs in.
Yeah. Like, the weather is so bad in Tasmania in summer. Like, you think about it, that's summer for them. That's not winter, and it's not 30 degrees and wet. It's actually like 18 degrees and wet. Like, that's almost worse than English summer. And English summer is pretty bad for summer. I mean, English summer's nice.
It's disastrous.
Yeah, it's nice for if that was winter weather, it'd be okay. But like, it's summer weather. It's not. You can't get away with it. As we look at the teams as well, here's the lineups. Some very good teams there. Pat Cummins in the attack. No wicket for 1 off 4. He bowls. He's bowled him. He's knocked the off stump out of the ground. Excellent delivery from Patrick Cummins. On a length, hanging around, and just swinging back in. India 2 for 32. First ball of the over. Bang. Into the off stump, off a middle. And Mayank Agarwal's gone for 17 off 40 deliveries. It's 2 for 32. What do you reckon about that?
That was an absolute beauty. That was an absolute juffer from Pat Cummins.
Top of the off and middle, like, doesn't get better than that. Yeah. So, we see Mayank Agarwal's gone for 17. India 2 for 32. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Underrated Cricketers. All-Stars team is that they really got tired in the second half. So
Please remember to like, favourite and subscribe. It really helps out the channel.
And our featured channels. Black Tick Icewave. Cricket Badges. Cricketism at its finest. Analog Casual. I want a more casual approach to videos, right? And the idea is... So, The Cool Boy Superhuman. Great channel.
Play for this.
Coming to the crease is Virat Kohli now for India. Excellent batsman. He's going to make his way up there. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the live chat. He's got some excellent statistics. He's the one we've all been fearing all series long. Let's get ready for it, shall we? Wade is padding up to do some short leg fieldsman to Kohli, which is an interesting strategy. Now, Cummins, we know he had the wood over Kohli at the very start. And now Kohli's come to the crease. Average of 53. Indian fans will be very excited now, I'm telling you that. And why wouldn't they be? I mean, it was an excellent delivery though, an absolute jaffer from Pat Cummins hitting the top of middle and off. Sort of hitting the bail, I think. Getting Mayank Agarwal out. So it's Prithvi Shaw and Virat Kohli now here in the middle. In Test versus Australia, Virat Kohli averages 48. Best of 169. 2 for 32 India. So Kohli is facing up. First ball of his innings. Cummins 1 for 1 off 4 overs. Bowls. That's a nice delivery. That's defended straight to fieldsman at point for no run. Kohli will be working for his run.
People in India are starting outrage because there's no Rishabh Pant, which was expected in the first place. And I was surprised that Gill wasn't there in the 11. But
See,
still good overall Indian side.
And statistically, Virat Kohli's Test career facing Cummins is 4 for 66 off 202 balls. So Cummins is probably the best choice because he gets that correct delivery, that one delivery, that knack delivery. I call it the knack. That's my nickname. Bowls, that one's defended. He gets that knack delivery outside off, just that particular delivery bowls on a length outside off that just absolutely does really, really well. Also that one to Prithvi Shaw as well, that's another ripper. He's bowled some seeds. When he hits about the length of the top of off stump of the height, and he gets it around off, this is just perfect tidy hits. And Cummins just cannot stop. You can't stop Cummins. 28 subs on this second channel as well. Excellent done. Analog TV is my main channel where all the actual content is on. So go there if you want the interesting stuff. A lot of names for India. Day-night test cricket. Hey, it just doesn't get better than that. This is the first ever day-night test between the two sides. Absolutely brilliant. Cummins, you think about it. 4.4 overs. 1 for 1. The Aussies will be proud of him. I think Nathan Lyon should be taking the attack soon. I'd like to see him take the attack. I think later on today, Nathan Lyon will be a massive effect in this game. In my opinion. Cummins bowls. That's a very good bouncer, and Kohli's ducked out of it again. No run. Cummins seems to attack Kohli. Nice delivery. 141.8 kilometres per hour.
I think Tim Payne must think sooner or later to bring either Green or Lyon in the attack, but I would like to see Nathan Lyon and Virat Kohli face off, because that has been the talk of the town
Same.
since the previous series.
I think Green should be bowling more to the middle order when they're 3 or 4 wickets down, and just have a Lyon bowling now, because perfect time to put bowler in is when this spin bowler is, unless it's an absolute thrashing, on either way. When there's 2 wickets down, like now, it's perfect time for a spinner. Cummins bowl, that's a nice length ball outside off stump left alone. I mean, it would be brilliant to see like Nathan Lyon bowling, and I think Cameron Green could be assisting him with some pace as well on the other end, because we need to get used to that extra pace bowl. We need to make use of it, because our bowlers will get tired. I mean, sorry to be biased. Australia's bowlers will get tired out. It's just a fact. I remember how worn out they were. Yeah, Shane Warne, no, that's a joke. How worn out they were by the Australia-India series a couple of years back. They were so tired. They had 2 tests against Pakistan, 4 tests against India, and another 2 tests against Sri Lanka, as well as an ODI series in between the test series between India and Sri Lanka. So they were absolutely gutted. They were tired they were so knackered, like you wouldn't believe.
But the series against Pakistan last year was a really walk in the park for the Aussies, because Pakistan, the only good fight that the Pakistanis showed up the last time was when Yasir Shah scored that century, which was really hilarious.
Yeah. I think Pakistan did well against Australia in 2018, but not 2019. Bowls, that's a very good delivery. On a length there, Hazel advancing over the stump, sort of. That is really, really well bowled. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the live chat. Here's Virat Kohli.
Guys, we need the comments, people.
He averages 55 with the bat in Australia, Virat Kohli. He's doing a pretty good job. Pujara as well, 14 runs or 69 balls, really defending things, but seriously working for an innings here that's worth scoring. And Lyon's actually got the meat over Kohli a few times, but Cummins has got the best averages and the best strike rate. It's twice as good as anyone else. So if you want to get one person out with Kohli, it's Lyon. That's left alone outside off stump. Excellent delivery with packing fielders around the bat. Mayank Agarwal was the last week at 17 runs off 40 balls. Thought that delivery there was just pretty good there from Hazelwood. Hazelwood's bowling really, really well today, to be honest. And it's been an absolute privilege seeing Shreyan Copeland there on my TV screen. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the live chat. I can't wait to see it. Hazelwood bowls. That one's defended to mid-wicket for no run. There's 2 of you watching live now. Go and do it. I've got a question for you guys. How is Pujara going to score a 50, and how many balls will it take? If Pujara makes 50, how many balls will it take him? Do you reckon it'll be 100 to 150? Say A. If you think it'll be 150 to 200, say B. If you think it's 200 plus, say C. That might be a bit harsh. And if it'd be less, just say D. But I doubt it'd be less. He's very defensive. 14 off 71. I mean, bowls. That's left out alone outside off stump. The quickest 50 he will get now is 105 balls, which is interesting. I just never get bored watching cricket. Just never do. It's just the best sport.
Same with me too.
It should be played all year round. Like in Australia, we have the tropical climate northern coast to play all the winter matches if we wanted to, if we could be bothered, and then we'd have the whole of summer to play down here. So we could actually have like cricket running all year round in Australia. Our climate's warm enough, you know.
True.
It's just AFL takes
But the
over.
problem is cricket Australia.
Bowls, that's a short delivery and he's stuck underneath it for no run. Yeah, the issue is though, the cities in the northern coast don't have enough people. Darwin only has like 300, 400,000 people. You can have one, and Cairns is like another 100,000 or something. They could probably have 2 tests up there occasionally, which is a pretty good idea. I reckon we should pitch that up for next year or the year after 2022. Have a couple of tests up in the top end. Also, I think Carafa or somewhere like that, Port Hedland. Carafa looks like it's going to get a lot larger. Carafa only has 20,000 people now, but I think it'll have 50,000, 100,000 in the future. Bowls, it's a nice length ball outside off stump. Left alone, no run. 20 overs gone, very defensive. Also fantastic podcasts, cricket updates you don't want to miss. Sports Express is the home of all that. 20 overs gone. He bowls. That's a foolish delivery by Cummins. It's defended for no run. No bowling change yet. India 2 for 32 after 20 overs. What were you going to say, Tyrell?
Speaking of controversy regarding county cricket and a former Yorkshire player who accused the county over alleged I would. I don't think you remember his name, but I think his name is Azim Rafiq.
Bowls. That's a length ball outside off stump. Left alone there for no run.
Good bouncer by Cummins, by the way.
Yeah, it's interesting how county cricket is set up. There's a lot of controversy within cricket boards. Look, I think a lot of cricket boards have too many issues. Big businesses just in general in the world, they're just too greedy, they all want to make the world one government and stuff like that, maybe, I don't know. They're a bit globalised.
The Cricket Australia and the England and Wales Cricket Board, they wanted to make it a big three, but the new ICC chairman has already said there is no big three. He said it to a local reporter in Trinidad, but in comes Cummins.
Bowls, and that's hit through the square leg region, and they will snatch 2 runs. Well played.
So apparently, there was that former Yorkshire player Azim Rafiq has filed legal claim against Yorkshire over alleged racism. So apparently, it happened during his time there. And another former Pakistani cricketer was a victim of racism too. Rana Naveed Ul Hassan, who did play with Hobart Hurricanes, won there in the Big Bash in the early ages, but in comes Cummins again.
Left alone outside off stump, no run. Off a length there. Yeah, it's always complicated, racism. How do you deal with it and stuff? But what's happened is, because of all the issues institutionally with other people between each other, regardless of whether it's what colour to what colour, it has led to people being very angry about it, and it led to a lot of upset people. So I don't know what we can do about it. The thing is, you need to deal with it in a way that you can still protect free speech. Because you need to keep free speech alive, but you need to stop that issue. You know what I mean? He bowls. That's a shortish length delivery. It's very short. It's hit him, I think, and he's batted it at the same time. No run. Because if you just make a law against free speech, like challenging hate speech and stuff and saying racism is illegal, I mean, good thing that you're stopping it, but it's demolishing people's freedoms, and it's complicated how you deal with it. Because I don't agree with it at all, racism. It's just, I don't agree with challenging free speech, which is a complicated thing, because I think people should just learn to appreciate each other. I think as time goes by, people will mix race a bit more. I think it'll become a less and less and less, I hope. Bowls, that one's left alone outside off stump for no run. I think people should learn to just, it's skin colour is like, you're a person no matter what, you know what I mean? You have a life no matter what. And it's a matter of, You know what I mean, Tyrell?
I know what you meant, mate, but I think I should run this story, mate.
Yeah.
Before we get back to the cricket. So apparently he filed a legal complaint against Yorkshire Cricket County Club citing direct discrimination and harassment on the grounds of race, which we are now talking about. Now he did left the club on the brink of suicide. Rafiq I'm talking about, which is really sad. But once I heard this story, it was heartbreaking and had me upsetting.
Yeah, and it must have been very bad racism to the point where he's challenging him in court and he's literally thinking of, mental health's a massive issue. Like even in Australia, we're stereotypically happy, but we're not. We're really not. Like suicide rates are going up.
Yes, Hazelwood.
He bowls that one's beaten outside off stump on the line and length. Excellent delivery there. 137 kilometres per hour from Hazelwood. Pujara's 14 runs or 75 deliveries. And obviously, like, for example, Marty Kalane, you may have seen this on my channel. He's the guy who ran 600 kilometres from Kalgoorlie to Perth to try and, stop these issues. You know what I mean? To try and help mental health of others. Miles for mental health, as they say. And 600 kilometres is a very long way to run. You can just imagine that, right? That's
exactly
that's like running from, I don't know where, from like Paris to Berlin. Bowls, that's left alone outside off stump for no run. That's literally Kalgoorlie to Perth. So you know where Perth is, right?
Western Australia.
Yeah. Do you know where Kalgoorlie is?
Is that up in the north?
It's sort of inland to the east. Sort of east northeast, sort of. East northeast, kind of. It's I've never been to Kalgoorlie, to be honest. And all the way from Kalgoorlie through on the Great Eastern Highway, along the Great Eastern Highway through Merida, Northam. I saw him at Northam and we took some videos there. I was trying to live stream the finish, but the internet was really bad. Bowls, that one's defended for no run. That was in Perth, the finish. But it was there's a video of it on my channel. If you want to watch it, it's on the special events playlist, and you'll probably be able to find it.
I'll go check it out.
It's on my main channel, Analog TV, so it's not on the second channel. But yeah, speaking on this story that you're telling me, it must have been really bad, the racism he copped. Like, if you had spoken up, I reckon the issue was it was the old days, right? How long ago was this? 20 years ago. People didn't speak up about those issues, and then it got really, because they didn't think it was going to get worse, but it got worse on him. And people need to open up by Bowls, and that one's defended for no run. People need to speak up both about racism and also about mental health. Both things, you know what I mean? You need to be open and honest about it. Because if people are honest about what's happening, then at least it can do something about it. It's not going to hurt. Someone will talk to someone and they'll deal with it in a way that will be dealt with well, and they'll make sure there's no bias. And it's protected under the law. You can't fire someone by law because of their race or anything, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
People have a natural bias, but legally, if there's any legal thing, you can legally fire them. You can't legally fire them for free speech, but you can do it for that. Bowl, that's defended on the stumps for no run. In Australia, white, black, yellow, red, gay, straight, lesbian, whatever, it doesn't matter, like, male, female, you're going to get equal opportunity by law. It does happen, though, institutionally, that it doesn't always happen, because either people aren't as skilled, and it happens to be the other race, or generally, they're just generally a little bit biased, because you have a white man, and it's unconscious sometimes. Like, they don't mean to, hurt, but, it's just horrible. Like, how do you balance it up? And then, yeah, it's a very sensitive topic. He bowls, it's a delivery on the stumps, hits it through point for a single. They left that gap open for a while, and India get on 2 for 35. But yeah, on that, it's horrible, like, hearing stories about it. Like, how many people get close to doing that sort of stuff on the brink of suicide? It is ridiculous. Like, it is sad, isn't it?
It is heartbreaking.
Definitely, especially our generation as well. It's getting a lot worse. Like, you can imagine the older generation. Some of them don't really understand why it's so bad. Like a 95-year-old, they may think, majority of them understand, but the small amount that don't understand, they think, why is it like this? Why are people doing this themselves? They think they have a choice to do it, but it's actually people being damaged. Anyway, On to the legendary Cameron Green. Finally, he's going to bowl his first ball in Test match cricket. Finally, he's taking the attack. After 22 overs, India 2 for 35. Cameron Green is running up to the crease now to bowl. Averages 21 with the ball in first-class cricket. He is a very skillful player. He's replacing Pat Cummins. And also in the live chat... And Liam's Cricket and AFL says, hey in the live chat, hello, Cameron Green's bowling his first ball in Test cricket. He bowls. That one's hit to short leg, one bounce there for no run. Hello, Liam. Welcome, Liam. Yeah, Green bowling to Pujara there. It's good to have you there. You're a Renegade supporter, I think. Long-haired. Probably about 11. I shouldn't be guessing your age. You know, good bloke. Love your backyard uploads and stuff. Just showing the viewers during the stream of all this backyard stuff.
Wait, did he overstep or what?
Oh, I think there's an overstep. There's a no ball. Thank goodness it's not a free hit. But how many people bowl a no ball to start their Test career? Just think about that for a minute. How many people do that? So it's 2 for 36 now, India. He bowls. That one's defended again. Sorry, I forgot to change the scores there.
It happens, mate. It happens.
Editing's boring. Yeah. So to start your career with an overstride, a Test career, that's a start of a Test career. Is that warning signs like when Harmison bowled a wide to start off 2006-7 Ash and they got tonked 5-0? Like, you know, but no, I think Green's going to have a very good career in my opinion. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. And I was certainly in for him. Bowls. That's left alone outside off stump. That is brilliant bowling by Cameron Green. Testing the batsman out on his debut here. It's good to see him playing for Australia. And it was very good career from him. Ayush Yadav says, why were you guys talking about racism? I honestly want to let you answer that question because, yeah. Well, it's just a general... He bowls, and that's defended. We were telling the story of we were telling a story of this cricketer guy that had really bad issues. That's what was happening. So we're just talking through it. You know, like it just happens. Like you know, it's really sad. It's horrible the way people are treated. Honestly. Anyway, back to Cameron Green, given his cap by Pat Cummins. Excellent. Given his career, Cameron Green, this is going to be a start of a very good Test career. I can just sense it. He's bowling to Pujara, one of the legends. He's bowling well to him so far. Bowls that one sort of pitch on the off stump, full delivery, hits it through mid on, and there'll be 2 runs there through mid on region. So Green current figures 0 for 3 off 0.4. Pujara is 17 runs off 85 deliveries. That's a real defensive innings. That's a real hard fought innings. That's what you kind of need to see. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the live chat also. Cameron Green, his first over in Test cricket. It would be not very, very nice if he could get a wicket in his first over. Green bowls. That's a brilliant delivery again. That's defended. That's sort of on the off stump kind of line and kind of bouncing on the length. 137 kilometers per hour. And of course he's right in front of it. Playing it really, really well. Pujara, 17 off 86. It's great to watch him, Pat. Taking innings of a lifetime, Shadajwar Pujara. It's also good to be out here commentating as well. Green running in again. Last ball of his first over. Last chance for it. Can he get it? Bowls. And that's defended there for no run. Battles out to that over really, really well. Pujara as well. Just to put a point on Shadajwar Pujara, he's been batting excellently. I think there's something in the live
I
chat.
love watching Pujara bat, mate.
Ayush Yadav says, I just joined the stream, so I was wondering why you were talking about the topic. Yeah, we're having a bit of a conversation, Ayush. It's okay. Yeah, it's important. It's important that you have conversations about stuff as cricket rolls on. You can have either a funny conversation or interesting conversation to make the game a bit more interesting. Anyway, 23 overs gone. India, 2 for 38. 3 runs off Cameron Green's over win. No ball, 3 dots, 2 runs, 2 dots. Now Hazelwood is the attack 0 for 15 off 8.
I was now watching some show they made and they now pop up on somebody at LOL.
Oh.
It wasn't a drama show, it was just a family show.
Bowls, that one's left outside off stump for no run. Shout out to Liam's Cricket and AFL. He's actually got some really good backyard test matches, yeah. And he just asked me for a shout out. So shout out to you. Your channel's great. You should probably join in commentary. Like, my email's analogtvofficial@gmail.com. Just email me and I can email you back.
You should join in, mate.
Yeah, it'd be absolutely brilliant. We need this interaction in the stream, you know. Have another guest. Us two, Tyrell and I are getting sore throats commentating. It's not because of the, what bowls left outside off stump for no run. It's not because of Rona. It's because generally we're talking so much. We need someone in to fill in the gaps. We're looking for other
I think I
commentators.
should get a bottle of water.
Yeah, good idea. Very good idea, Tyrell.
Excuse me a sec, mate.
That's all good. Yeah, it's of course. We've been out here for a couple of hours, On TV, they just do it for half an hour and stop. Can you imagine how dry my mouth is? Seeing Virat Kohli looking really fancy in the crease. Bowls, full delivery. Hit straight to the fieldsman for no run. Just really, really well done. And Green finished off a pretty good over to start, although the no ball. Yeah, if you can get your Gmail to work, it'd be an absolute privilege. That's for sure, Liam's Cricket and AFL. Be absolutely brilliant. Yes, of course. Now, bowls. That's left alone outside off stump. That's quite full of a delivery there from Hazelwood. Very defensive test match. Yeah, it'd be an absolute privilege to have you join this stream, Liam. I'm sure you'll do a great job. Start your career on analog TV. Have you ever tried commentating before, I wonder? It'd be interesting to find out. Just try and get your Gmail to work. Best of luck with your Gmail. I know it's slow. I know the internet in this country's horrible, to be honest. Just a little bit horrible, to be honest. Maybe just horrible times 100. Yeah, okay. Pretty good test match, so we're having.
I also want to send a shout out to another die-hard cricket fan who loves West Indies and surprisingly he's from Venezuela.
It's a full delivery hit. And there's a single there to mid-on. Yeah, go on.
I also want to send a shout out to Daniel Sanchez. Surprisingly did pick up cricket when he was in Spain.
Wow.
Yes, indeed, my friend. And also, he's from Venezuela and he wants to become the first Spanish commentator to commentate on West Indies cricket. He told me that the other day.
Yeah.
He loves West Indies cricket just
Bowls
like
that
I.
one's beaten outside off stump. Excellent delivery there. Yeah, it's just so good that people have such a passion about cricket. And stories like that are just amazing. Yeah, the internet, I don't really know the exact speed of the internet in our country, but it's not very good, that's for sure. Now, we're just going to go to a break. One channel that you should check out is Analog Casual. The more casual version of this channel, where we can sort of make cool posts and stuff. A bit of a channel for the fans. So if you're a big fan of this channel, come over to Analog Casual, and we're going to make stuff all for you guys. So come to that channel, it's great. And don't forget to subscribe. It only has 7 subscribers. We're going to build on that second channel. Only videos I really enjoy making, including snippets out of this live broadcast. Oh, that's just a delivery that Green start off his another over and there's a dot there. A bouncer that bounced over his head. That just happened. Just don't tune
I'm
TV.
surprised they haven't brought on Lyon yet.
Yeah. I just have the squads list, the teams listed up on the screen for you. It's a lot of interesting teams. Always getting action in the middle. I don't know the exact average internet speed in Australia. That's an interesting question. Shut up. It's too good for me, that question. Green bowls. That's full on the pads. He's driven it. He's clipped it, hit it through mid-wicket. Off the front foot, just hit across the line. Quick running between the wickets. It goes to 2 for 41 India.
And before we go any further, also a big congratulations to the Jaffna Stallions who won the first ever Lanka Premier League. And the player of the match in that final was Shoaib Malik.
Yeah, interesting. I don't.
And Hasaranga was player of the tournament. He's a young leg spinner from Sri Lanka. In comes Green.
And that's left alone outside off stump. Keep chatting away, mate.
That's okay, mate.
So I wonder.
Kohli's running between the wickets.
Yeah, he's very good between. Very fast, isn't he? Very quick. Very actionful.
I think he want to break Usain Bolt's 9.5 feet.
Yeah. Well, India 2 for 41. You've got Green to Kohli again. Will Green get Kohli out? Big question. Bowls. That one's defended there for no run. Excellent delivery there. 141.8 kilometres per hour. The fact he's an all-rounder, and he's quite young as well, he's bowling really, really quick on that scale. Now, it shouldn't be very long till the lunch break. It's going to be a massive lunch break show. Isn't that right? So,
Of course.
we've got Tyrrell's. We're going to have a quick discussion about this game for the next few minutes. Then we're going to have some talking about last night's game just by myself. And then we're going to have a discussion about Tyrrell's confessions and English cricket. Bowls. That one's defended there for no run. So even when it goes to lunch break, seriously don't go anywhere, or tea break. Just don't go anywhere. That's my message. And just talking about this lunch break, it's only a ball away. Yeah.
It's more than a confession. There's a video that started to circulate yesterday featuring staff from my school that I go to.
I don't know if you should be talking about school and stuff on the internet. There's certain things about it, so just be very careful. Just some advice.
Yes.
Bowls, that's a length ball outside off stump, no run there. So, also in the live chat, we need to listen to interaction. Ayu Shada says, which BBL team do I like? I'm a Perth Scorcher supporter, by the way. There's lunch as well in day one. So, India 2 for 41 off 25 overs. Yeah, I'm a massive Scorchers fan. So, Cameron Green's bowled quite well. So,
which BBL team you like?
yeah, who are you going for, Tyrell? Who do you go for in the Big Bash? Who are you neutral?
I would have to go with Melbourne Stars because
Okay.
I'm a big Harris Raul fan. I became a big fan of his since that brilliant performance last year.
Yeah. And talking about this innings, right, there's been a lot of good stars of this game, I suppose. Who's the main one would be probably the two bowlers. Mitchell Starc, 1 for 17. Pat Cummins, 1 for 3 off 6 overs. You think about that, that's a very, very good figures for you. And with the bat, Labuschagne Pujara is 17 not out of 88 deliveries, and Virat Kohli's 5 not out of 22 deliveries. So a lot of discussion coming through on this match. Now, just got a couple minutes to just digress this amazing session of cricket. Stay tuned as well, because this lunch break show is going to be brilliant, I promise you. So, what are we going to say? How would you rate this session so far, Tyrell? Who's done well, who hasn't done so well?
Well, I would say it's been a quiet session so far
Yeah.
because there's not much boundaries in the first session. There is some movement in the pitch itself.
Yeah. Definitely. So India 2 for 41 at the end of this session. What we're going to do now is we're just going to go to a quick break, but I promise you we will... Yeah, Liam's saying about the Australian internet, yeah, it's just horrible, honestly. It's like, you just have to get used to it. I mean, Tyrell has to deal with it, even though he's on the other side of the world. Like, it's just not his fault. It's like remember there's Aussie YouTubers who made the joke, right, that they literally were waiting for a photo to load for a week. And they made a YouTube video and they took a month for it to load. Random Boy 2214 says hello in the live chat. Hello back to you. Good to have you on the Australia-India stream. right, we're just going to... And he's saying that it's... Well, in Victoria, the rain is pissing down, which is a massive problem. Thank goodness the cricket's in Adelaide. It's a nice, cool day, not too hot. It's not super wet either. Let's go to a break. After this 30-second message, I'm going to have the conversation going right out to you. One channel for you to check out is The Cool Boy Superhuman. As a featured channel of him, I really enjoy it. And obviously some of the amazing stuff he's done. If you've watched Super Series Minecraft on my channel and haven't checked out the Cool Boy Superhumans version, you better do, because you will really like it. As well as some amazing memes, like some of the stuff is just going to amaze you. And yes, check out his channel. And welcome back everyone to Australia versus India. And this is pre-recorded. And what I'm going to talk to you about now is the probably, I don't know what, but I'm just trying to fill in time. So I think maybe I'm going to talk about the differences between the captains of India. So Virat Kohli as a captain is generally a more extroverted, generally more presenting of a captain, as a captain, right? I'm talking about, not just his personality. And Ajinkya Rahane is more of the player that wants to execute everything in the cricket field. So it's interesting the differences in captains. It'll be interesting how India will do without Kohli. Also want to highlight something in the cricket. India Pujara is probably one of the greatest cricketers of all time. Maybe not all time, but probably the modern era. He's literally, Kohli's better than him, but him and Kohli together pose a massive threat to the Australians. And it's a team that could easily win. And I think Pujara will be the main man when India lose Kohli. Also, speaking of the Australian fast bowling cartel, Mitchell Starc versus Nathan Lyon. Now, interesting thing is when Mitchell Starc runs into bowl, often what happens is he runs in and then he leaves out the footmarks for Nathan Lyon. So there's a lot of... It really hasn't been brought to much attention. I understood last night on Channel 7's coverage, Lisa Stalaker said something on Scorchers v Stars about that. Be interesting to find out, because you notice when Starc does poorly, if Lyon's there, we can actually win the game. Sorry, Australia. Sorry to sound biased. I can't help it. I'm naturally from Australia. Australia will win the game. But if Lyon's not there, the spinners don't do super well because the patches aren't trained for the other type of bowlers, such as Adam Zampa or others as well. So that is one difference between Mitchell Starc and Nathan Lyon and how the bowlers work with each other. They've got that mateship type bonding that really helps each other out a lot. Now, talking about the Big Bash last night, the weather in Launceston was just not very good. It was cold, wet, horrible. They had to cut the overs due to rain. What do they do about this? Should they have that much Big Bash in Tasmania? I'm not sure. It wasn't a Hobart Hurricanes home game, so I think it's a little bit of a more hubbing decision due to the current situation, which I cannot name it because of silly YouTube. Now, talking about the Big Bash, they've decided to put a couple of games late morning, early afternoon to make sure that they cater for this test match so that it's not in the way. But it's great to have day-night test cricket in the game. I'm a bit sick of getting up at 6 a.m. in the morning to watch a test match. So it's a bit of a relief, in my opinion, because even the people in India will get a little bit of a lie-in for those that aren't at work on their weekends and stuff or whatever, or at school holidays if there's school holidays. I'm not sure what India's school dates are. I can't be bothered to check. But, yeah. So it'll be interesting how the day-night tests... And it's also good because I'm in Perth, I'm a couple of hours back. Now, other information on Australia v India, the picking of fast bowlers. the Australians have a lot of depth with their bowling units. It's just their batting that's the main issue. It's interesting. It's an interesting situation. I'm going to quote Lisa Sthalekar again. She's often talking a bit about, or alluding to the fact that we've had a lot of injured players. And I think it obviously balances out the series. Like, Wupakovsky and David Warner sort of being away from the game certainly makes it very, very interested on how it's all going to turn out. Like, the way India might structure their bowling is get the two openers out early, because they're not the greatest openers of all time. And then the issue here is the middle order, the number 3 and number 4, and number 5 and number 6. And how are we going to get them out? So the focus goes on to the middle order rather than the top order. So India roll through the top 2. What happens after that? That's the interesting thing about it all. So it's probably all I have for the pre-recorded session. Anything you want to share in the live chat, you're welcome to. And we're going to go back to live coverage after this quick sponsor message. Well, not sponsors, but you know what I mean.
RCTV Cricket is brought to you by our broadcast from Marty's run from Kalgoorlie to Perth for 600 kilometres. It was hot weather, it was back in September, and it was incredible. Cricket Talks, where we wrap up matches of cricket to entertain on this channel. Listen for all the insight and analysis, special analysis from my channel. Galactic Icewave, fun, gaming and animation channel for you to check out.
Welcome back. Well, not welcome back. Yeah, welcome back. I'm with Tyrell now, talking about your biggest another cricket confession. It's not a personal confession; it's a confession about people in the cricket. And what were you going to say? Tell us it now, and don't be too extreme.
What I was gonna say regarding comparing best 5 batsmen in world cricket to see who is best of the best. In my view, comparing Virat Kohli to Babar Azam would be absolute rubbish.
Yeah. And
secondly, I would not object to compare Steve Smith to Kane Williamson, nor Joe Root neither. All these 5 batsmen, they are the best in the world.
it's a fair thing to say. You know, there are so many great cricketers in the world. How about we honour as a community rather than compete? That's what I generally believe. And
Exactly.
so what you're saying actually makes quite a lot of sense about the way the cricket's being structured in Australia and in the world in general. Like, it's not about competition, it's about getting the best result and helping others out as well. Helping others achieve well as well, rather than working against each other. In sport, you work with your team. In real life, you work with others around you. Like me, I'm collaborating right now with you. I'm not working against you, I'm not competing with you, I'm working with you. I'm not hating on anyone, I'm working with other people. If they don't want to work with me, I don't want to work with them back. You know, there's no, I mean, you're not going to be friends with everyone, but like, there's no place for hate in this world. But yeah, on the top 5 batsmen, I always drag on like that and get over the top about everything. It's really good that in Australia we have it's really good for India that they have such depth in their cricket lineups. Like, they get a few injuries and they can actually be okay, if you know what I mean by that. Because of the depth they have, it actually makes India look very, very much the top team. You know what I mean by that? And
I know what you meant.
Top team like India will win a lot of games because when they get 2 or 3 great players hurt, when they go without Virat Kohli for a bit, they have Shubman Gill to fill in, who's not almost as good, but who's a pretty good player. Like, it's not to compare, it's to say, when a player gets on debut because someone's hurt, it shouldn't be known as a replacement player, it should be a player known as being on debut. So it'd be interesting, what would you say is the World 11? What players would you put together and call them the World 11? Like, could you name a World 11? From 1 to 11, bowlers, batsmen, everything. What do you reckon?
At the top of the order, definitely, I'm going to go with David Warner.
Yeah, same. Who would he open with? Would you say Williamson or?
Is everything okay, mate?
Yeah. Williamson would he open with, do you reckon?
I would have been number 3. Just have to get another opener there.
Yeah. Probably, maybe the other opener could be someone like Shreyas Iyer, although he's quite futuristic. If we're talking Test Cricket World 11, Shreyas Iyer could be or Mayank Agarwal, something like that. The Indian Opens are pretty good, generally.
I was thinking that Test left at the moment. I
Warner.
would have to go with my guts and put Shan Masood, who's a really good player.
So Shan Masood and David Warner would open for the World 11. Batting at number 3 would probably be Williamson, right?
Williamson 3, 4 Steve Smith,
And number 5 will be Virat, for sure.
and Virat 5, and Root number 6.
Yeah, of course. And, like, as you were saying, right, the best cricketers sometimes don't go that way. Like, we have a lot of underrated players, as an example. And that can certainly mean a lot. When you have players that do very, very well, you get them having innings that are so much on top, so dominating. It is just brilliant, though. Like, you see, who would you say would be your number 6? Like, who's your player number 6 in your World 11, if you're honest? So,
I would have to go with the one and only Ben Stokes.
Ben Stokes. As
One
the
of the
English.
best all-rounders right now.
Yeah. By the way, I did read your message, random boy. Yeah, but I like putting the image on so I can kind of look in the direction of the screen. It's not annoying. Anyway, yeah, Ben Stokes would be good at number 6. Number 7, the keeper. Who's the best keeper in the world, do you reckon?
It's a tough ask for now. But I made my mind up. I have gone with Josh Butler.
Josh Butler. Is it the two Englishmen you're comparing, Butler or Bairstow? You know who else we forgot? Joe Root.
Yeah,
He has to bat in England. You know, like, speaking on English cricket, the conditions that English players bat on is so much harder to bat on when you're facing good fast bowlers. So really, the thing about Australian and English wickets, right, is they're both wickets that are made for pace bowlers. And it's certainly like, when you're batting in India or something, it's very much spin dominated. So certain players are good against one or the other. That's why Virat Kohli, we don't compare, but Virat Kohli is very good because he can deal with spinners very, very well, which is a player that is needed in a side. You know what I mean?
I know what you meant, mate.
And I'm looking forward to seeing how Stark will do bowling to these Indian top order, because they're a very solid top order, India, and they're only, well, the score as you can see here on the screen, it's only 2 for 41. The game's just started really, and we're at lunch. It's really interesting what's actually going to happen. Anyway, now we're going to go to a quick mention from why I subscribe to this channel, and then we're going to go straight to our conversation about English cricket, vaulted from the England-West Indies broadcast. Enjoy after this break.
One channel that you should check out is Analog Casual, the more casual version of this channel, where we can sort of make cool posts and stuff, you know, a bit of a channel for the fans. So if you're a big fan of this channel, come over to Analog Casual, and we're going to make stuff all for you guys. So come to that channel, it's great. And don't forget to subscribe. It only has 7 subscribers. We're going to build on that second channel. Only videos I really enjoy making, including snippets out of this live broadcast.
Welcome to our live and free coverage of England versus West Indies. There's been a lot of rain. England weather is absolutely drastic as always. And joining me in commentary is the Cricket Badgers, Adit and Will as well. So great to have you guys in commentary. Bit of a rain delay. It's all very, very disappointing. But I'm very, very excited to see this match come along. It's going to be a very tight rivalry, that's for sure. So it's a big rivalry. West Indies, England. A lot of history made in this series. All of that. Hopefully players not too far away. Let's join up with the cricket badges. Hello, hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Not bad, not bad. So we're through both streams, aren't we? So this is
Yeah.
also being streamed onto the Cricket Badges Great Channel, their account. So we're ready for our pre-game discussion, as they say.
So, who do you think's been doing really well on this match? Which players do you guys think?
I think... Oh, that's a tough one.
I think last test, Ben Stokes.
And quickly in the live chat, before we get to it, Ned Squad says hi, and so does Pirates Bill say sup. Say hello, or ahoy,
Yeah.
or whatever you want to say.
Hello, guys.
Who has done well in this series? That is a very big question. I think there's been a lot of good contribution. I think one thing, Stokes is always doing well at random times. I'm going to have to refer back to some statistics, that's for sure. I think Joe Root's been a little bit disappointing. I mean, I ate cricket in a live chat yesterday, I think was talking about it. But who has done well? Sibley has been a mix of good and bad. Like, he's been getting out for ducks, but he's also been scoring hundreds. Same with, I'd say, Rory Burns.
I don't think Rory Burns has had that innings yet, though, like Sibley has.
Ollie Pope as well scored a fantastic 91. I would have expected him to score a little bit more, but there you go. That was a sad way to finish for the youngsters' innings, but he's certainly done quite well. Josh Butler's not too bad. And currently England declared with top three did a fantastic job. Rory Burns, Dom Sibley and Joe Root. Now West Indies are under big pressure. So there's a lot of good players we've seen this series, and I want to hear from you guys in the live chat who you think was the best player. Because there's a lot of people that I have been looking at and I've been saying they're doing well, and then they do a poor innings and I'm like, are they not well?
I think...
Pirate Thrill says Sibley is a leg side lammy. That's an interesting description. I would say he's definitely a massive leg side player, but talking about good players in the series, he's been pretty decent, hasn't he?
Sibley's been okay, but I think the Ducks have been... It's like he's like a duck 100 type player. And I mentioned this in the Underrated Cricketer series. A lot of them find themselves being underrated. Damien Martin, from back in the day, certainly found himself in that position. Duck 100. That type of player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Butler's in that sort of form at the moment. He seems to just about like keep himself in the team. Like he gets to that point where people are saying drop him, and then he has that good innings, which keeps him in the team.
And then you find players who work on consistency, such as Ricky Ponting. Like, he scored basically a 50 every match. But you couldn't expect him to score a 200 every match, every now and then. He would score a 200 every 10 matches rather than every 3 or 4 matches. So he was a great player, but he was consistent at a certain number. So that is interesting. But I'm actually going to check what is Sibley's average. That is a big question for all of you to hear. So I'm going to go to my statistics here. Sibley averages 42 with the bat. So, yes, he's been getting dismissed for ducks, but Sibley actually hasn't been doing too bad. I think, batting-wise, or is it 36 he averages? 36, that was my mistake, pardon me there.
Is he average 42 in first-class cricket?
That's in Test cricket.
What is he averaging in first class?
So it's not a bad start. I would say he needs to work on his consistency, obviously, but I think it's an alright start for a new player.
Oh, I think it's a very good start for a new player. To have scored, I mean, he scored 2 centuries already for England in not many games, a few 50s as well. not many openers come straight into the squad and do that.
Definitely.
I mean,
so who do you guys think is going to be man of the series?
Stuart Broad. I think
In the live chat, sorry. In the
What
live
about
chat
you,
I've seen,
Ethan?
I'm not sure. I reckon probably Broad, although I think the efforts from Ollie Pope should be congratulated in this third test, especially if England win. Now, I'm reading the live chat, and I'm hearing things in your live chat. Broad with 8th, Pirate Phil saying Sibley is a leg side Lammy. He's also saying Broad with an 8ther, and he's also saying Sibley can't play spin. What do you reckon of that?
Oh, that's the interesting claim there. I think with the spinners, he was sort of indecisive about whether he was going to go for it or not go for it. But generally, you can't fault him. He's been really trying really well, and he's put in a couple of really good performances, hasn't he, with that 100? So maybe they'll work him out in the future. Maybe some spin bowlers will work out his weaknesses and he'll become a bunny. But for now, I don't think there's much you can fault about his batting.
I'm going to try.
Do you have anything to it?
I'm going to try and put it on my channel. Hold it.
Well, I think just quickly here, I have something quickly I need to say. I think Sibley won't do too well in places like India and Pakistan, but I think he'll produce some very good cricket in places like England and Australia. That's just my opinion. Like those pacey wickets he'll do really, really well in.
Yeah. And of the bowlers, Jason Holder did really well this series, didn't he? Maybe not so much in this test match, but generally he's been doing pretty well.
I think England should have never dropped Stuart Broad. I think at the moment he's one of the best bowlers in Test cricket, and he's proved that in the series.
Yeah, I think that was definitely a mistake for the first Test match. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Ethan, would you agree?
Yeah, I think Broad is certainly a great player, and they're often grouping Anderson and Broad together. Now, I think he's 2 years younger than Broad, and I think Broad's 2 years younger than Anderson, as you said as well. How can you group them together?
4 years younger, yeah. Not even that, yeah, even more.
I think Anderson's like 38, Broad's like 34.
Yeah, but yeah, I think to add on to Ethan's point, yeah, you can't really group them together because they're not. People are like, oh, Broad and Anderson, they're gonna retire at the same time. They have to play together, But they're actually very different bowlers, aren't they? And very different cricketers.
So the statistics say that Broad is 34 years of age and Anderson is 37. So 37-year-old, pretty consistent Anderson, although he had a bit of an injury problem in the 2019 Ashes. Broad's going quite well at 34. There's a funny song I remember from 2013, Dennis Carhart, his guy did cricket parodies a few years back. He did Why Didn't Broad Work? Do you remember that incident?
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah. If it wasn't for copyright, I would play that now on loop until the rain goes away. But we'll be back with a bit more coverage after a short ad now.
I'm trying to.
One channel for you to check out is The Cool Boys Superhuman. As a featured channel of him, I really enjoy it. And obviously some of the amazing stuff he's done. If you've watched Super Series Minecraft on my channel and haven't checked out the Cool Boys Superhumans version, you better do, because you will really like it. As well as some amazing memes, like some of the stuff is just going to amaze you. And yes, check out his channel and welcome back everyone to RCTV's live and free coverage of Australia versus India, the first test match. And Tyrell's been, thank you so much for joining us. You're still here with us in commentary, and we're going to talk about cricket going on all around the grounds, not just at the Adelaide Oval right now. So what is happening around the grounds? What's going on in the Lanka Premier League?
Well, yesterday was the final of the Lanka Premier League, and I can happily say that the Jaffna Stallions became the first winners of the inaugural LPL with a thumping final victory over the Gulf Gladiators.
Yeah. So I'm just going to look for the scorecard if you don't mind me. So
Yes, no problem.
interestingly enough, Jaffna Stallion scored 6 for 188, and the Galley Gladiators could only make 135 for 9, so they fell short by quite a decent margin. Fiasara Pereira and Malik fire Stallions to inaugural title, and well, that was pretty good. And as we know, this Lanka Premier League's been very interesting. So, interestingly enough, Colombo Kings were actually on the top of the ladder, even though the Gole Gladiators and Jaffna Stallions, the top two teams in the minor premiers, weren't actually the teams that were even in the final, to be frank with you, which is actually crazy stuff. So, around the grounds on that Lanka Premier League, all very interesting information. Now, just going to look at, now we're going to talk about, the Big Bash. So, coming up in the Big Bash, I see that we have Hurricanes taking on Renegades in a couple of days, day after tomorrow, Perth time, of course. What do you think about that game?
That's going to be another good game of cricket itself.
Yeah, for sure. And also, there's Big Bash. Also, Sydney Sixers taking on the Strikers on the 20th. And on the 22nd, Big Bash goes back to the Knights after the test. And the Thunder will take on the Scorchers in Canberra. Ooh, the New Zealand-Pakistan T20s are coming up. So,
That's tomorrow.
A lot of information on that. So, tomorrow the T20 starting 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. your time, Tyrell, or 6 a.m. London time. That will be the first T20, all at the same time, on the 18th, 20th and 22nd of December. What do you reckon is going to happen in that T20? What are your predictions for it?
Well, Pakistan, they want to be careful because they're already without their skipper Baba Azam, and Shadab, I've been told, is going to lead the side. And already there are rumors floating around that they might let one of the youngsters open with Mohammed Rizwan, because there's also no Fakas Zaman, who is already ruled out of the tour.
Yeah. And I remember we were in commentary together for Pakistan versus Zimbabwe. Now, tomorrow at lunch break, we're actually going to put on stream highlights of Pakistan versus Zimbabwe. So I sort of spent 3 or 4 hours editing to put together a highlights package of that stream, which was an excellent stream us two were working together on. We're also supposed to have Will, but he didn't actually turn up. But yeah, interestingly enough, New Zealand beat Pakistan. So without their skipper, it'd be very interesting how they're going to perform. There's been it's interesting as well, a lot of cricket going around the grounds, and it's just brilliant to be seeing it all in action, isn't it?
And speaking of the Kiwis,
yeah,
they are also going to be without Keane Williamson and Trent Bolt just for that game.
And there'll also be no Colin Munro, because Colin Munro's in the Big Bash playing for the Scorchers, which is interesting because I don't get that properly, even though I'm a Scorcher supporter. If he's playing in the Big Bash, right, he's not playing for his country, which is very bizarre in my opinion. It's a bit odd that someone in the Big Bash League has decided, hey, I'm not going to play for my country, I'm going to play in the Big Bash. Maybe it was a decision for 2 months, maybe he wasn't sure if he was going to get picked, maybe he doesn't play much T20, Colin Munro. What would you bring this down to, Tyrell, in your perspective?
If I was a cricket player myself, I would have preferred to play international cricket over franchise cricket any day.
Same, exactly the same. So, why do you think he made that decision, / what do you reckon was going on? Because it's a great pick to have the Munro and the Scorchers in the Big Bash, and he hit 48 against the Stars excellently last night and propelled Gorge as well to 6 for 158 off 17. Colin Munro, how would you rate him as a player?
He's a fantastic T20 player, no doubt, because I did see him in the CPL.
Yeah. Obviously, tomorrow, on Saturday, is Hurricanes v Renegades. Who do you think's going to win? Hobart Hurricanes or the Melbourne Renegades? What do you reckon? Like, in your honest perspective.
Well, it's a tough one in my opinion, but I think Hurricanes might get the better of the Renegades.
Interesting. So, yeah. So also coming up in the cricket is, interestingly enough for Sri Lanka, is a test series between South Africa and Sri Lanka. And that will start on Boxing Day. So Boxing Day is going to be a massive day. It's going to be Australia, India, New Zealand, Pakistan, and South Africa versus Sri Lanka. What a massive day that will be. Like, you've had a Merry Christmas. I wish all the viewers Merry Christmas, by the way. I forgot to say. Merry Christmas from all of us. And then the Boxing Day test. So, 3 massive test matches on that day. And break through who you reckon is going to win between South Africa and Sri Lanka. Who do you think?
Last time Sri Lanka was in South Africa, they did clean sweep them 2-0. And South Africa back then had a strong side and they couldn't afford to beat the Sri Lankans, which was a bit shame and disappointed.
Yeah. So, speaking on South African cricket, they had a tour of England not long ago, and that seemed to go okay, I believe. Just trying to find the information on that. That's just not.
And speaking of Sunil Narine, he and his wife expecting child.
Yeah. It's very interesting. In the live chat, Ayush Yadav says South Africa, so I think that means he's predicting for South Africa to win the test series against Sri Lanka, or the test match. I think it's a 2-match test series. It's a pretty interesting rivalry as well. But South African cricket is a very interesting thing to talk about. So got a couple more minutes before we're actually live. Random Boy says the tour was cancelled. Is that right? Was it cancelled, the tour? Because it's still coming through on the fixture. Yeah. But I'm sure that if it wasn't called off, South Africa would win. I didn't know it was called off because it came through on the fixtures. Apologies. I've just scared you living daylights out of you guys. Right, so onto this New Zealand-Pakistan rivalry. What about the tests? How do you think Pakistan will do in the test series without their style of cricket?
I just hope Baba Azam will be fit in time for the test series once that injury heals up. The problem is, I have a feeling Pakistan are going to be swept.
Yeah, they're going to be thrashed, do you reckon?
Yes, because they see how New Zealand thrashed West Indies, because how the West Indians were bowling.
Yeah. It was on a green pitch. It was on a green pitch. Like, it's just a rubbish looking pitch. Like, you need to have a pitch that's for the bowlers. The bowlers get nothing nowadays. I'm not trying to say bowler bias. Also, in the live chat, Betty Kai Roast says, what do you think about IPL? Well, I think IPL is a great league. Problem is it's late at night. So, to talk about IPL, I'm going to have to bring you on to Tyrell to sort of discuss that. And what did you think about this year's IPL? Which team do you think has done the best? Etc.
Mumbai Indians, they did the best throughout the season. They went back to back. They had actually got off to a rough start like the last IPL.
Yeah. And Ayush Yadav says backyard cricket to IPL. And
Interesting one.
what does he mean by that, do you reckon?
I'm not sure what he's meant by that.
Yeah, this is an interesting thing to say in a live chat. But seriously, on an honest perspective, I am really appreciating this interaction about cricket going on in the world right now. It's good to see, like, I remember listening to podcasts from England and stuff, they're always saying it's good to see cricket going around the world. Like, cricket's the one sport this year, I don't know if it's just me or whether it's everyone, but it's brought us, the world, together, the game of cricket. Like, in our commentary and everything like that. It's brought the world together, and it's been just fantastic. I don't know whether that's just me or if it's both of us or what, but it really has been. And Ayush Yadav says backyard cricket is bigger than IPL. Well, maybe in Australia, maybe, but definitely not in India. Or actually, there would be a lot. There'd be a lot of like box cricket in India. They play a lot of box cricket in like their backyards, don't they? Like in their apartments and houses, they have this room around them sort of thing, and they play around there. And they have like nets around so they don't hit it over the fence. So, yeah, I hate when the ball goes over the fence. Anyway, 2 for 41 India. It's good to hear about cricket going on all the way around the world. It's such a topic that is massive and it's charting and all that. But we're about to get live to, in a couple of minutes' time, we're going to be live for the test between Australia and India.
Before we get back live, one more question.
So, who do you think will win this test match, judged on the position right now? Who do you reckon will win? I know it's a big question. Who do you reckon is going to win this test? Just wait, guys, and guys, just wait for the response, because it's a pretty big question to ask someone. Who do you reckon is going to win a game? Okay, you know what I mean. And Tyrell? Who do you think is going to win, Tyrell?
Well, at the moment, I'm not going to predict right now.
Balls, that one's just defended there for no run. We're just straight away into play now. Welcome back, everyone. We're getting into the third session now. So, 6 people are watching now. Hello, everyone. So, question for the session. Can India's dynamic duo withstand the all-star Aussie attack? What do you think, Tyrell? That was on the TV screen.
If India just keeps on batting sensibly, but he's good into Pujara.
And that one's defended there for no run. Yeah.
I think the key for the Indians is Pujara and without Kohli.
Same. Like, it's just a matter of these batsmen are going to bat together. They're going to have to produce a run festival today. They're going to have to. By the way, the message retracted automatically happened. I didn't mean to do that. That was all accidental. Sorry about that. But don't forget to share your thoughts in the live chat, by the way. Pujara has 17 runs off 90 deliveries. How long can he just stay on defending, do you reckon?
For the rest of the day.
Yeah. Beat Cairo says, I think India is going to be 210 for about 7 or 8 wickets at the end of the day, by the end of the day. Bowls, that one's full delivery outside off stump left alone. What do you reckon about what Beat Cairo said?
There's a possibility that
Stumps.
India,
Yeah. Stumps 8 for 210, does that sound about right?
Stumps,
Yeah.
They might be under the gun coming into the next afternoon.
Yeah, this session's a massive session, to be honest, and how it's all going to work out. Now Pujara batting, and he's 17 runs off 91 deliveries. It's been a defensive innings. It's really been. But I think he's going to do well. Bowls, that's pitched up and he hits it straight back to him for no run. Pujara, you think, he's just going to... I reckon he's going to get to 50, but it's going to take him a long, long time. This is going to be one of the slowest innings ever. He's basically... It's interesting because a lot of people compare him to Rahul Dravid, which is an interesting thing that we...
I did mention that a bit earlier.
Yeah. It's always going to interest our viewers. 2 for 41, India. I mean, they've lost a couple of wickets. It's taking ages to score their runs. But it just shows how well Australia are bowling and how Pujara just has to fight it off. Bowls. It's a nice line length and he defends that one again, Pujara. Like most batsmen who are 17 runs off 93 balls would be under dot ball pressure and would probably either get out or go for a big shot. Pujara has just been defending off the whole innings. It's interesting when he's going to... I bet you the one shot he'll hit for 4 in the next 2 overs. Or not next 2 overs, but when he next hits a boundary, it will be the most elegant shot you will ever see. Like, for example, this over has been all dots. So dot this delivery and it's a maiden over. And also, what about gaps? There's a gap between short mid-wicket and mid-on. Bowls, that one's left outside off stump, no run. So it's sort of a gap between short leg and fine leg, kind of. Deep fine leg. And there's a gap between gully and short cover. And there's a nice gap through mid-off to drive. There's a nice gap between short, mid-wicket and mid-on. So there might be that opportunity to get him really driving outside the off stump, trying to drive him down the ground, hit it through mid-off, and just cross-bat it and nick it behind. That's probably what the plan is. So India at the end of the 26th over, 2 for 41. What do you reckon that's a valid plan, Tyrell? Do you think like getting him to play the off drive and stuff, because they've left that gap open? It must be something.
Well, if the Aussies have left the gap open, it's best instead of letting the Aussies get every maiden overs, just get one run over and just play it on like that without throwing the wicket away.
Oh, yeah. Like, you think about it, right? You have all this time to work for your runs. Like, Cummins is 1 for 3 off 6 overs. Like, he bowls, and that one sort of nicked down to the slips field of one bounce for no run. So you think about it, if it's Cummins bowling like this really good line and length, he's eventually just gonna go and he's like, something's about to happen. If you're 1 for 3 off 6.1 overs, something is surely gonna happen. See, Kohli's on strike 5 of 23. Even Pujara would surely have a borderline where he's impatient. Like, there'll be a point where he'll go to and say, hang on a minute, I'm not going to score. Bowls, that sort of chipped up in the air. Is there a catch? No bat involved. There was an appeal. The short leg did a really good dive. If that was out, that's a great catch, even though it's not out.
That would have been a blinder.
It was a blinder there. I tell you how he got to it. It hit him on the fly. He clearly missed it, but Wade went in and took it so nicely. So, well done, Matty Wade. I tell you what, I'm enjoying this Test cricket. It's been tight, it's been defensive, but again, it's a hard days of cricket, and whatever happens now could affect the whole game. Cummins runs up to the crease again and bowls. That's a nice line of length delivery outside off stump, sort of 5th or 6th stump line. And beat Kai Roast, says, great effort from Wade. Certainly was. Yeah, the way he went into it and just dove at it was just an absolute... Yeah, it's just miraculous. It was just skill and class all at once. Yeah, so India 2 for 41. It's a lovely day in Perth. I might, from my windows, hopefully this doesn't... I shouldn't say that. I might crash it. Just trying to get a bit of fresh air. He bowls. That's a nice length delivery outside off stump. Left alone by Virat Kohli. Sorry, I'm opening my window so it doesn't crash the TV signal. Just trying to get a nice breeze through the house. Anyway. Okay, so India 2 for 41. Beat Cairo says, I think Kohli won't stay long today as he doesn't look in form. No, I think he's just been defensive and trying to hold off the spell. I do disagree with you, but I appreciate your interactions. But yeah, I think the Australian bowlers could look at that and make an opportunity out of it and look for a wicket. That would be certainly something. Bowls, nice line and length delivery outside off stump. That pitching length outside off. It's just gonna. This is probably. I think that's a good ball that Cummins bowls, and eventually Kohli's gonna get bored. I promise you. I don't think it's now yet. Don't think the time's yet. But I think he's going to get bored very, very soon. Trust me on that. India 2 for 41. What do you reckon, Tyrell, on that? Is Kohli going to get bored?
Kohli might want to free up his arms in the next few overs.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he should play IPL style, but this is Test match cricket. In comes
Cummins, that's been blocked to the fielder for no run. Unless India are just thinking, oh, we're going to draw in Adelaide. But Adelaide's the best place they play. So why would you look for a draw? How many overs is that?
Must be around 27, 28.
Okay, I'm very clumsy. Because anyway, I mean, they're taking forever to score their runs, India. You know, like, this is just, we're here to honour Australia's bowling, not really their batting, but eventually it's going to have to get something out of this. And they've been very defensive all afternoon. I think getting on later on this session and also in the night session, that's when the game's going to get very interesting. See, I won't be here on commentary for the night session because, well, it'll just stop it. Bowls, that's a lengthish delivery. I think they got a bit of some good shape there from Hazelwood, actually. It's been defended by Pujara. 17 runs. Ayu Sharaf says, how many subscribers do you want in the future? If you're referring to my main channel, I'd want 1,000 subscribers plus. This channel, I think 100, 200 subs. I don't need as many as the main channel, but I think this channel, at least live streaming on this channel, the only advantage I can see out of this is it actually sort of tells people I have a second channel. And finally people watching it start getting some viewing on it. Usually I'd be on the main channel streaming this match. But hey, it's good to be on Analog Casual for a change. Really is good. Hazelwood running up to the crease now. Pujara faces as it's a short delivery and he ducks his way out of it. It's just bouncing over his head there. It's a lovely afternoon, by the way. And in Adelaide it's 5:21 PM. The weather's beautiful. Maybe a bit cool on the cool side, but it's not too cold. It's not as cold as what's going on in Tasmania in the Big Bash where the matches are getting rained off. But I wonder what Justin Langer's thinking. I mean, Pujara 17 runs on 96 deliveries. What can you really do about the new Wall guy? You need to do something about him, that's for sure. Hazelwood bowls. That's a delivery on the pads, and Pujara scores a run to fine leg. Every run Pujara scores is almost like a boundary. That's literally how low scoring he is. He's on to 18 now, Pujara. It feels so weird saying Pujara scored a run. It's not that bad, but I'm making a joke, just, yeah. So we are on the 28th over. No, it's not the 15th over, it's the 28th. I think a usual team against this attack would probably be like, I reckon 4 for about 70 at this stage. You know what I mean, Tyrell?
Yes, I know what
He
you mean.
bowls that one's defended to mid on for no run. I think India have taken the defensive tactic rather than the attacking tactic. Because I remember New Zealand tried to go after them and got out pretty quickly. So they've decided, okay, we're going to block all game. And sure, the players will get bored, but you need to win a game. I'm sure if this was a club game, they'd just go and slog. Even Pujara would probably get bored eventually. Even Pujara, the batsmen look quite bored. Like, you look at them, they're not enjoying it. They're just trying to hold it off. At some point, the attacking shot will be right in the eyes, and they're going to play one big shot. It just depends on where they bowl their line and length. He bowls, and that one's hit to mid on. And they don't even take a run there. Because you could imagine, right? It almost feels like this time of the day, people get home from work in Adelaide and they see the scores like this and they go on, hang on a minute, 2 for 42 off 28 overs, you are absolutely ridiculous. But, you know, these Australian fast bowlers will get some sort of result. That's one thing I promise you. And also after the end of the bowls, and that one's hit straight to the fielder for no run. 20 overs gone. We're going to probably have another Tyrell confession or something at the end after this. It's 2 for 42.
Some people ask, why should I subscribe to this YouTube channel? One good thing from the coverage was certainly the commentary.
Maybe they've all bowled rubbish. That's a very good shot. That is
absolutely incredible to watch.
How epic is this going to be?
Oh, go get that. Oh, good shot. Oh.
If you're still not convinced, come and suggest your video. We'd like to hear it in the live chat or comment section of the current video you're watching.
Welcome back, everyone, to RCTV Sports. India 2 for 42, and we have Pat Cummins running in. He bowls. Nice delivery on the stumps there. Defended, no run. Tyrell, do you have any more confessions about Australian cricket, let's say? Because Cummins is 1 for 3 off 7 overs. What's your confession about that? Cummins bowling today. What do you think about it?
He's kept it tight, Pat Cummins. Even though he's only got the 1 wicket. He's kept it tight. The other thing is I want to criticize ICC a bit.
Go ahead.
The COVID-19 rules that they put out
Can't.
and the additional logo.
Balls. That's a short delivery. He has to get out of the way of that Pujara. And India have done so well today to get out of the way of those short deliveries that are just going towards their head. And Pujara survives. Yeah, continue with what you have to say. It's a good catch by Tim Payne as well behind the stumps.
He's doing well as a good wicketkeeper, Tim Payne.
Definitely. I mean, Pujara, like, you'd think he's going to hit a boundary at some point. I just want to... He
will look to free up.
Yeah, he will free up his arm at some point. Balls, that's a length ball outside off stump left alone. Now, I'm going to tell you something about Pujara. The reason all the people are like, what if he's such a good player, why doesn't he play one-dayers? He has actually dedicated his batting to Test cricket and being the wall batsman for life almost. He has made himself a type of player to be able to achieve that. So that's exactly why that's going on with him. It's exactly what's up. Nothing else.
That is a serious fact.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do one-day cricket. Like, he would play. If he was given the choice, he would, but he's so prioritised the tests. Bowls, that's a nice delivery. On the stumps, that's just hit to fine leg for a single. Which sport do I like the most? Cricket. Cricket's my favourite sport. Yeah, IPL, I think we should be, like, even in T20 gets too much of priority in all countries. In Australia, lots of T20 club cricket. I haven't played a single club match that's a longer format, any longer than 35 overs per side. I want to play at least 50 overs per side in club. I think we should actually push towards having like 70 overs and 70 overs, not just in districts, but actual club cricket in Australia. Because like the lowest level, people need, even the people who do it for fun, need to play the longer format to train, to get picked in districts, the longer format. Bowls, that's a short delivery, he's chipped it up in the air! But it's through the vacant leg gully region, and it'll roll away and they'll grab a couple of runs. Club cricket should definitely have a few more longer format games in my opinion. Like maybe have like a 2-day match where you have 70 overs per side to bat, or hit the glove that delivery, or maybe go for a game where you have like a proper test where it's maybe like, because you could fit in club, you could fit my format, you could probably fit 70 or 80 overs in a day in like 5 overs a play, seriously, because we're a pretty good over rate. And then you could do it for 3 or 4 days. Bowls, that one's beating him outside off stump. Excellent delivery. No run there. Yeah, definitely we should look to change club cricket. In the live chat, beat Kai Roast. Pujara doesn't seem struggling if you have seen him before. This is his natural game. Yeah, exactly. This is his natural game. This is exactly how he plays his cricket. Like, people are like, how come he's not got out yet? And everyone, if anyone new to watching cricket will ask that question. Well, it's because he is trained for the longer format of the game. It is just simple as that. There's no other excuse. That is exactly why it's happening. Like, he doesn't play ODIs because he chooses to play the longer format. He chooses by himself, a self-informed decision. That's the best format for him. Hazelwood to Pujara bowls, and that's hit straight to mid-on for no run.
Right, I want to get to the point regarding the COVID rules.
Just don't say the name of the virus. Don't say the virus name, but keep talking.
I do apologize for mentioning the virus. I sincerely apologize.
Because it's a demonetization on YouTube. If I get caught,
Oh yes.
you'll get away with it. But like, be careful, and it's good practice for you as well. If you want to make money, because everyone wants to make money. Anyway.
True. Anyway, here's the word to Pujara.
Bowls, that's a nice short delivery, and that's tucked. And they'll go through the point region for a single. There is a gap there. Interestingly enough, this partnership's been 13 runs off 67 deliveries. That is a very defensive partnership, if you ask me. 14 runs off 68, which is actually really tight. Don't you agree with that?
I totally agree.
14 off 68 for a partnership. Yeah, regarding the
internal rules.
Yeah.
after this delivery, I want to get back to these internal rules, some which are chaotic and crazy.
Yeah, of course. There's all kinds of weird stuff going on in the ICC. Bowls, that one's defended. I remember a couple of years ago, even a few years back, Ian Chappell warned us on television all about the ICC and what they were going to do to the game. So it's interesting that.
What did he had said a few years ago?
It was saying, I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was something about the ICC council is heading towards corruption if they don't fix themselves up or something. That's alleged because I can't remember exactly what he said. So don't take that as illegal. Don't take that as legal speech. Bowls. That one's hit to deep square leg and they will grab a single. And just quickly, Beat Kai Roast says, but as far as I have seen Kohli, he doesn't play with a strike rate less than 50. Yeah, Kohli does go after it, but he's only 8 off 35 today. Sports Express asks, how's the stream going? It's going great. Yeah, you're welcome to join commentary as well. It'd be an absolute privilege. It'd be more than a privilege. It would be like an honour. Anyway, Tyrell, on to your point. Tyrell?
Yes, go ahead.
So, it's interesting because the ICC are trying to... He bowls. That one's defended. There's a nick through third man, they'll grab a single. I don't mean to sound like a nationalist or anything, but
No.
countries should be able to have their own control within their own country, and the whole world they shouldn't have a whole world corporation for everything, like ICC, United Nations. I don't believe in that. I believe the government should look to push for good change and have better governments, because it's just going to push us to one world. If the ICC control everything with cricket, it's just going to become the ICC's thing, and it'll become a globalised game, and they'll mix everything up and make it all commercialised. Bowls. That one's nicked down through fine leg. It's just clipped it off the pads there, Kohli. And I think it will run away to the boundary unless the fielder gets it, which he does well to chase it down. You just woke up and you got to go to school in 50 minutes. Okay, understood, Will. But you'll still be listening to the game. Excellent. Listening to this great stream. 30 overs gone, 2 for 51. But yeah, it's interesting because the ICC, I think, have too much control over cricket in countries. It should be more the cricket boards themselves, or even on an even lower level, it should be a lot more democratic, or you know what I mean, more chosen by the people, and people should have more of a say on how the cricket's done. You know what I mean? The fans should have a lot more of a say. Sports Express says good views for analog casual. Yeah, cheers, mate. Appreciate you joining me on this stream. It's been a fun stream today. It's good you're enjoying it. India 2 for 51 now. In this first ever day-night test between the two sides. A lot of Indian fans here today. 30 overs done. Don't forget to share your thoughts on the live chat.
One more thing I have to tell you, mate.
Bowls, that's just a quick single there through square leg. In fact, there'll be 2 probably.
I think they're going to get 2.
Yeah, you talk.
I have a song that is coming out early next year.
You're making a song?
And I'm going to be bashing my haters.
Look, that's personal advice here. Be very careful what you do nowadays. Free speech is half dead, and they could be taken as a legal threat. So be very careful what you say, because they could do something bad to you.
BFF Justice always tell me.
He bowls. That one's left outside off stump for no run. I'm not trying to sound like your parents here or whatever. I'm just trying to give you the best advice, because I want you to be safe, and I want also that, if something happens, something controversial with you could roll onto me and my whole community. So I don't want that to happen.
I don't want that to happen.
Like if something happens with you and your hater, and then the hater's gone to my channel and Will's channel and the cricket badges and all that. Yeah.
That'll be controversy.
Yeah, we don't want too much controversy, so I just warn you quickly. You could be at risk collaborating with me if something happens. I'm sorry to tell you that. And it will hurt. Bowls, that one's hit there through gully region, and they will grab a couple of runs. Good dive in the field. The score is 2 for 55, India. Kohli's on a nice 12. Pujara is defending it all around. Actually, Beat Cairo says, look now, Kohli will manage to get a single or 2 in every over. Yeah, Ravish Pujara doesn't often. Ayush Yadav says, do you think cricket should be included in the Olympics? I think maybe.
Great question.
Maybe T20s or T10s, but the longer format's a bit too long for 14 days of Olympics. You can't have one test match in the Olympics, 2 tests. Like, it should be 1 days or T20s. Bowls, that's a nice full pitch delivery outside or stump, no run. I think they should have a bit of cricket in the Olympics. Yeah, not a bad idea.
But again, they are going to either put T10 or T20 for the Olympics. They already put in T20 for the women at the Commonwealth Games in 2022.
Yeah. Thing is, cricket's only really played in the Commonwealth and stuff like that. And the other thing is, the West Indies is a whole cricket team. It's a group of countries, not just one country.
That's the part too.
He bowls. That's a short delivery, and that's a duck all the way out of the way for that. Yeah, if you can't see the scores on the screen, it's 255 India. Sports Express. After 30.5 overs. And the partnership is 23 runs off 77 deliveries. 30 subscribers now. This second channel has grown by 5 subs today, and I thank everyone in the community for contributing and subscribing to this channel if you have today. Say I in the live chat. Thank you so much. So, Aussie India, hey? Bowls, it's a nice delivery, and he's just sort of gotten out of the way of it. It's end of the over. India 2 for 55. So interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of topics to talk about. A lot of, So, Sports Express says, I just think the World Cricket calendar is so busy it doesn't have to be played in the Olympics. Interesting perspective you bring to that. What do you reckon, Tyrell? I kind of agree with that. How will we possibly get cricketers to the Olympics if they're tired? That's the only thing I have about it.
Well, according to the new ICC chairman, it is difficult right now. But the thing is, the cricket calendar is absolutely cram and jump. And by the way, what they're showing there was Virat Kohli's first ball
as a captain, in the first test in Adelaide, he got smashed down there. Yeah. You haven't heard the commentary, but we've got Nathan Lyon in the attack now. Gary. Funny fact, I had a garden snail and I named it Gary, and I saw a snail in the garden and I decided to call it Gary in honour of him. But you see, what's happened is Starks left out a good patch, I believe, and now that patch should be helping out Nathan Lyon a lot. And Beat Cairo says, I think India is going to win this one because they have the best possible squad, but the next 3 Australia are going to win or will result in a draw. Interesting predictions, Beat Cairo. They do quite well out of that oval, but they also do quite well at MCG and SCG. Lyon bowls, and the bowls a little bit short. He goes for the cut shot, and Pujara actually scored a couple of runs through the third man region. It'll be 2. Playing the ball on its merits. That's the thing I like about Pujara. That was loose. That was rubbish. So he plays it on its merits. It's good old classic Shediswar Pujara. I mean, it's only 2 runs, but you know what I mean. Yeah, we know Adelaide are good at. India are good at Adelaide Oval, but they're also pretty good at playing in other ovals, such as. He bowls. That's chipped up in the air. There's a catch. Don't know whether that's flew. I think it's flown off the pads there. In my opinion, it has. Lions no wicket for 2. I think Pujara tends to play everything on his merits. Maybe it's different because it's a spinner. Bowls. He drifts him forward and the short point fieldsman dives and he can't quite get to it. That is really, really close to a wicket there for Nathan Lyon. Dipping him up with a really, really good spinning delivery. Pad onto a bit of bat. Goes for a dive and not out. Dives and can't catch it. Spin against Pujara's a bad idea in your opinion. Maybe you're wrong. Bowls. That one's hit across to square leg or through the short leg fieldsman. There won't be a run. They're getting very close to getting him out, but it is not out, okay? Clarified? Not out. Yeah. Interesting he's saying it's bad. I think Lyon's been bowling really, really well to Pujara, and Pujara is becoming a bit impatient. This is a bit unusual from him. It's usually not this impatient. Lyon bowls, he loops it up, he goes for the cover drive, full pitch outside off, and he drives that one all the way to the boundary, and the fielder manages to stop it, and they will grab 2. Well, they've grabbed 3, so it's 2 for 60 now, India. Pujara on 26 off 109, Kohli on 12. So finally, Pujara scoring some runs. This is a good set innings from Pujara. I'm really enjoying this innings. Just from the perspective that India are going to work hard for this match. Like, he's worked hard for all his runs. Some players hit 50 and don't work hard to earn them. He works hard for his runs. Bowls, and that's hit to point for no run. A player that works hard for their runs is very, very important. Okay, 32 overs gone, 2 for 60.
This is the Galactic Ice Waves channel. It's a great channel. You should definitely check it out and subscribe. It's absolutely brilliant. And this is why.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another attempting to win all hypers game. And now that it's 0, write down x equals infinity. And now that it's infinity, write down x equals 0.
In a live chat, Beat Cairo says, as in the last 5 matches, he's been pretty good against pace and he's got a pretty good strike rate against spin. Rather, he's been getting out against pace, interestingly enough. What session is it? It says Sports Express. This is the second session. It's been very defensive though, so 2 for 60. Don't get tricked by that. It's the second session. They're taking a bit slow with the over rate. But yes, Beat Cairo, you're absolutely right. Interesting how Pujara's going to go. Cummins bowls. That's a nice length delivery on the stumps. That's defended. Yeah, second session.
And it's a good thing he mentioned over it too.
Yeah, the over rate's not very good. You're only 32 overs done. The test started 3 hours and 10 minutes ago. Started at, in your time zone, Will, this game started at 4 a.m. So it's already 7:11 a.m. your time zone. So good morning to you. Hope you're fresh. Who's batting? Pujara is facing on strike, and Kohli is off strike. So it's going to be a very interesting match. Cummins bowls. That's a nice delivery on the stumps. That's defended. And they will not take a run. So Pujara and Kohli, the 2 firemen batting out there in the middle for India. Cummins is bowling. This is the battle of the deeds. It's one of my favourite things. The battle of the deeds is a big saying, but you know what I mean. Cummins versus Pujara and Kohli. It's like the pinnacle of world cricket. This is bowls, and it's a nice bouncer. And he ducks out of the way. This is my last but one day of school. Your last day of school, Ports Express. In Australian, I'm not going to say that on there. Forget about it.
I think you should keep it off the air.
Yeah, keep it off air, the information. But technically, well, not wagging, but technically this is the last day of school in Australia. Anyway. In your time zone, this starts at 8 in the morning, but the other one's 4 a.m. So it's, what? He bowls. That's a delivery that's hit through square leg gully for no run. I can't stream on main channel till March because of copyright issues. And YouTube stops it. Not me. YouTube stops it. So Beat Kairos direct. You're probably from Dubai or somewhere, or the UAE or the Middle East, or maybe Russia or somewhere, I suppose. Maybe not Egypt. Yeah. Have I watched Tim Payne and Kohli stump Mike Sports Express? Of course I have. And trust me, it's pretty banterous. It's really raw banter. I love it. Bowls. That's a nice length delivery on the stumps. That's defended, no run. Look at the screen. You can see the scores. 2 for 60 India. Excellent scoreline, by the way. You are from India, Beat Car Roast. Okay. You're from India. Interesting. Cummins to Pujara now. He bowls. That's a nice length delivery outside the off stump, just beating the bat. Getting really, really close to Pujara's edge. 33 overs gone, 2 for 60. Tyrell, any other confessions?
I have a joke to So apparently some former Pakistani cricketer praised Hardik Pandya. And the former Pakistani cricketer that man talk about apparently sold his country and was involved in match fixing. And did you know he lied about it on YouTube?
Interesting. That's an interesting confession you have. Sports Express says we are struggling to produce some cricket content at the moment. Yeah, but if we can give you some updates on this, he bowls. That one's defended there, no run. Keep updated on this Australia-India series because you could get some content out of this because it's such a massive test series. Anything involving either England, Australia or India, and two of them are versing each other, or those three teams, it's massive. And yes, I have seen the best and worst of Stump Mark by cricket.com.au, of course. Lyon bowls, and he hits that one down the ground, full pitch delivery outside off. He hits it straight down the ground through the long on region, Kohli for 4. Just rolls away to the boundary. Nice lofted shot, the third boundary of the day, and it's 2 for 64 India. Kohli has hit that nice and hard. He's gone and attacked Nathan Lyon, gone and attacked the spin. He's now on to 16. Excellent batting from Virat Kohli. Yeah,
He's got to be careful because every time Lyon outfoxes him, he could end up losing his wicket somehow.
Bowls at once to the fielder there, no run. So you'll often take you through this session, but the fun fact is, covering this match is going to get you a lot of views because it's Indians and Australians. It's like the biggest series. Bowls, that one's defended for no run. Sorry, I don't include the West Indies here. It would have been back in the 80s, but now I think any test series between either England-India, Australia-India, or Australia-England are a great test series and great to watch even from a neutral perspective, and is worth making a video on. He bowls. It's a nice delivery. It's that one to the fielder there for no run. So anything between those three versing each other is just going to be such a big series that you might as well just do as much coverage as possible. Like England versus India, I watch all the time if that's on. I'll watch it for sure. Right, Lyon bowls. It's a nice delivery on the stump, sort of spinning back in there, and Kohli defends it for no run. 34 overs gone, 2 for 64. You've always got a lot of interesting confessions, Tal. I'm not going to ask you for another one because I've been annoying you. But we've got a few more viewers coming in, and they might be new to this channel. There might be good old oldies who've been around here for a while.
Might be interesting.
Yeah. So Beat Kairos is here schooling an hour, so he may not be here forever. And Sports Express said, yeah, because I don't know if you have realised, but all our recent content's been about football. We need to get some more cricket. Yeah, for sure. You need to get that cricket stuff going. I can't wait for that.
And speaking of cricket, there's been some controversy in Pakistan. I was now going to tell you about it during the lunch break, but I now found out. But maybe after this over, I'll tell you.
Maybe after this delivery or something, yeah. Right.
Alright.
Cummins bowls. It's a lovely banter from Pat Cummins. Yes, to duck his way out of it. There's no run there. Pujara's been playing well. 26 off 116.
Look, if Pujara can keep on batting like this without hitting a boundary, he's definitely one of the greatest bowlers in world cricket.
Yeah.
I just think.
Yeah. Definitely. He's definitely someone like Sports Express. You should make. I know it's probably more of an individual video rather than a podcast. Make a video about shit as well, Pujara. Bowls. That one's just hit there through square leg for a single. No, there'll be more than a single. There'll be runs. In between the wickets, it'll be 2. 2 for 66 India. Hey, Big Kai Roast. Hey, what is the most popular sport there in Australia? Is it cricket or something else? Number one most... Okay, I'm going to speak to you loud and clear here, so it's easy to communicate. The most popular sport in Australia is AFL. Number one. No question. Number 2 is cricket, the second most popular sport. And it's not far off either. Cricket's very popular. It's massive. AFL and cricket are massive. Number 3 is probably NRL, but that's more eastern states. It's massive over there. Cricket's massive all over Australia, and AFL's massive all over Australia. But because of Victoria, AFL slightly more gets the wood over cricket. But not saying Victoria doesn't like cricket. 1 million people watch AFL in Victoria in one given weekend at the game. But they also watch cricket. They have like 100,000 cricket fans. But everywhere has a certain amount of cricket fans. So, and AFL's about equal. NRL's number 3. Number 4, I'm not sure. NRL is rugby league. The National Rugby League. Yeah. AFL's our own invented sport. Bowls, that one's defended there for no run. And not many people actually know this, but AFL was invented by a cricket player that was trying to keep the players fit during the winter. That's a fun fact about it, which not many people know. National Rugby League, yeah. It is the National Rugby League.
One time that Andrew Simons did play rugby.
Rugby League, I think. Something like that, yeah. Be a pretty good rugby league player. You can just see how big he is, right? Especially with that streaker incident with India in the game against India. The streaker runs on the ground and he smashes him. Bowls, that one's defended there for no run. Rugby union. Rugby union's a lot better than rugby league. I don't play it, but I watch it. Big fan of the Wallabies. Go Wallabies. It's not very popular in Australia, but I like it. What's the biggest sport in my state? In WA, I think cricket's the most popular in WA. AFL's definitely I'm going to say cricket and AFL are equal number 1. They're bang on equal, like. There's a lot of AFL fans that don't watch cricket, there's a lot of cricket fans that don't watch AFL, but there's also a lot that watch both, so it's sort of levelled out. Bowls, it's a nice delivery there, hit 2, mid-wicket for no run. It's going to be very controversial, but cricket and AFL are equal most popular. If you go to one bias is if you live in India, I assume, you should talk to some of the Australians if you come here, because you get to know them and stuff. They're very nice. But you could talk to them about cricket and stuff, most of them. They mostly love it. Feels pretty weird seeing it's summer in Australia and it's freezing cold where you are. Well, yeah, it's summer now, but in winter it goes down to 16 degrees, which is nothing. In England it's hot. Don't kill me, Sports Express, please. 16 degrees is hot. Bowls, that one's defended there for no run. No, 16 degrees is not hot at all. It's just...
It's really cold.
It's really cold, yeah. It's freezing. 18 degrees for me is freezing, but it's because the way the Perth houses are built and stuff in WA and stuff, they're not designed for the cold. Maybe down south they are, but 18 degrees in Australia doesn't have the humidity. It's just wet, cold, and miserable. Whereas 18 degrees in England feels lovely, allegedly. It feels a lot nicer 18 degrees in England than it does in Australia. 18 degrees feels warm in England. If it was 25 in England, I'd say it's hot. I would feel hot, probably. But if it was 25 in Australia, I'd just feel normal. Football's the most popular in England, as Sports Express said. Yeah, I know about that. It's football or soccer is very popular all over Europe. I know about that. Bowls, that one's down the leg side. And there's no run there. I don't mean to embarrass people, but I remember we were getting our hair cut by these Italians. And they couldn't stop, and it was FIFA World Cup, and they couldn't stop talking about it. So, yeah. Sorry to embarrass you if you're there. You're probably not listening, but if you are, good to have you here on the stream. It's great to have you. So yeah, that's the thing is they love the Europeans and also the British and the English and the Scottish and the Irish or whatever. Just generally love their soccer.
No,
or football.
Think anything. Good decision.
No. Lyon Bowls, that one's defended there, and it sort of just bounces up to the keeper somehow. No run. Takes down his stumps, but nothing. Pardon me. NFL is popular in the USA. Definitely. I know about that.
I did caught up with the NFL over the weekend, by the way.
Yeah? What's the latest in the NFL? I know it's not cricket, but you can update us.
We can talk about it another time.
Bowls, it's a delivery that's defended there. Yeah, no run. You can see the passion in Scotland. Of course there's passion in Scotland. Yeah, of course there is in soccer. Yeah, he's just saying it's 15 degrees Celsius in January, but April and May it's 40 degree plus. See, that's India for you, isn't it? Weird seasons, really. It's really weird seasons. Bowls, that one's defended for no run. It has a really, really short spring. Sports Express said you should see the passion in Scotland. Anyway, you talk about the controversy then. Your confessions.
Yes. So apparently there is another controversy relating to former
Bowls,
Pakistan.
that one's just clipped there to no run. Yeah, keep going.
There is controversy relating to former Pakistan leg spinner Danish Kanavia, who was banned for life for fixing by the England and Wales Cricket Board. Apparently, he participated in a veterans tournament that wasn't organised by the PCB, but in comes Nathan Lyon to Kohli.
And there'll just be a single there down to long on for off a full pitch delivery.
Well, I'll send you the link, mate.
Yeah, you're right about. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Sports Express says it's around 6 degrees today in England. Well, of course, it's winter. A and B, that's much colder than winters in Perth. But if you go down to Tasmania, winters are like 8 or 9 degrees most days. Maybe not that cold, but like in Melbourne, it's 12 degrees in winter. In Perth, it's 18 degrees in winter. In Carafa, in the Pilbara, it's 28 degrees in winter. Everywhere's different in Australia. And Sports Express says, cricket and football, I can't choose my favourite sport. Talking to Ayush Yadav. Yeah. It's interesting that. Bowls, that one's... No, it's no, so sorry. I got carried away. It's not bowls. I was just looking at a replay on the screen. How ridiculous. I'll look at your link at some point after. Probably not now. Probably in a couple of hours. Anyway. Mitchell Stark will take the attack. Interesting, he's going from the opposite end to Nathan Lyon, probably because he's not extracting much on that particular end. That's one thing for sure. Okay. India 2 for 67. Stark's first spell was 1 for 10 off 5 overs. His second spell was 0 for 7 off 3 overs. Some interesting statistics. So, yeah, you're from Birmingham, aren't you? So it's very, very cold. And you say in February it's -3, Will, but like, yeah, he bowls. That one's clipped there through mid-wicket for 4. I think that's 4. There's a chase on. It's 4. It's 4. Virat Kohli picks up a massive boundary. 2 for 71 India. Yeah, it's -3 in February in England, yeah. Well, England weather is cold and miserable. What do you expect? Come to Australia. You should live in Australia. If you have an issue with it, not saying you do. If you find England way too cold all year round, move to Australia. And yeah, it's much warmer and it's much more spaced out Australia as well. Anyway, that's a very good shot from Kohli. That's really well played. Beat Kairos says India is a religion there. 1 billion people play it. And the second most popular is football. Okay. Bold. That's a delivery there that's defended there for no run. 20 to 25 million play football. Yeah, that makes sense in India. Or soccer, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So, obviously, Kohli, cover drive, excellent. He's just excellent for cover drive. Ayush Yadav says, ha ha ha. Yeah, I think he's related to something that's been said. There's some sort of connection to information. That makes no sense. Hope you understand. Hope you do. Stark runs up to the crease. He bowls. That's a nice full delivery. It's defended by Virat Kohli. Yeah, I think it's interesting though the way cricket's played around the world. You don't really like the weather, but you could never leave England. You love England and you're proud to be English. Okay, Sports Express. Surely you can come to Australia, stay here, and you'll have to stay here for 6 months. You might change your mind, mate, but like, what's going to happen? Even if you do live in Australia, you can still support England, you know. If you ever live in Australia and you just don't admit it now, trust me, you will love Australia. Like you'll still go for it. You'll go for England in cricket. You'll go for England in football. Just you'll love the country. Bowls, that one's clipped to mid-wicket there for no run. Same with you, Tyrell. If you moved to Australia, emigrated here, you'd probably love it. You'd probably find Perth winters a little bit cold. You know what I mean? Or if you went to Melbourne, you'd find the winter cold. But if you went up to the Pilbara, then you'd be fine, because like that's hot up there.
I would love to visit all over Oceania and Pacific.
Yeah, you'd love to go to Australia, yeah. Yayu Shadav says the second most popular sport in India is kabaddi. I've never heard of kabaddi before, but there you go.
I've heard about kabaddi.
Is that like the second most popular? Is that like a traditional Indian sport?
It is like...
Oh, he just bowls that one across in there for no run. 145k an hour from Stark. Yeah. And it's probably, they play in rural areas in northeast India, they play football only. It says beat Kairos. Yeah, possibly that, because maybe they didn't really get much cricket influence because the British sort of brought it in and some picked it up. And you like Australian people, you find them funny, but you'll miss the English culture. No offence, Aboriginals. Australian culture and English culture is quite similar. No offence, Indigenous people. No offence. Your culture is great. Bowls, that one's left outside off stump for no run. Fun fact, 50% of Australians come from British ancestry, so it's pretty similar Australia-England, except except it's more hot and spread out. You could cope a few months in Australia easily, you would love it. We're going to go to a break.
One channel that you should check out is Analog Casual, the more casual version of this channel, where we can sort of make cool posts and stuff, you know, a bit of a channel for the fans. So if you're a big fan of this channel, come over to Analog Casual, and we're going to make stuff all for you guys. So come to that channel, it's great. And don't forget to subscribe. It only has 7 subscribers. We're going to build on that second channel. Only videos I really enjoy making, including snippets out of this live broadcast.
Welcome back, everyone. Just a lot of banter going in the live chat. I love it. As Lions in the attack, he bowls. Bowls. That one's defended there for no run. Mitchell Stark's form, right? Do you reckon it's improved?
It's kind of mixed right now, but it will improve.
Yeah.
Once it gets into prime time, he's looking to bowl around the 90-mile-per-hour barrier.
Yeah. Bowls. That one's defended there for no run. Stark's going to look very good tonight in the prime time, definitely. And beat Kairos was that load up single, assuming the internet's a bit slow for you, mate, unfortunately. There you go. Look, I appreciate everyone for joining the stream and glad you're all enjoying it. Bowls. That one's clipped to the fielder there. Fine leg for no run. So there you go. India 2 for 71. Pujara's on 28. Kohli's on 21. It's been a really defensive day of cricket. It's been hard fought. You're glad Kohli's back in form, Will. It's great to hear that Will's glad that Bowls. That one's clipped to mid-wicket. There'll be a quick single. Because the other fielder had to back him up. Yeah, Kohli is certainly back in form. Like, you're looking at him right now in the middle. He's on 22. 21. Good comment, Sports Express. Not Polar Express. I'm going to call you Polar Express because, you know, England's basically the North Pole.